Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. Hope you are all doing well, and we are here for Super Rugby Pacific. Now, something that surprised me, they've actually started on time here for this game between the Western Force and the Rebels. Normally, the Australian games start about 5 minutes later than they are actually scheduled to, which is why we were starting just a tad later and there as well. But currently 3 seconds away from kickoff. We're just about to get straight into it for this game. It is being played at HBF Park, I should say. And also, hi, says Betty. That one will quickly move the microphone a little bit. There we go. It is in the right place. It's going to be Brad Wilkin. Does carry himself forward for the first touch of the match here. But I will go through the lineups as we do continue through this first half. The front rows, it's a penalty straight away for the Rebels. We will start with their front row. Matt Gibbon, Jordan Ulysses, and Kobus Elof will be the front row for that. And hi, says Amelia. So hopefully your Rebels boys do play well in this fixture. But it should be very exciting. Also kicking off right now, it's actually the Football Ferns versus the Socceroos alongside Adelaide United versus Western United and some NRL. So plenty on at the moment. And that's not even mentioning the AFL has gone into touch there for the Rebels. And now they are going to have themselves their line-out throw. Also looking through at the rest of their lineup. Matt Phillip, Josh Canham, Brad Wilkin, Richard Hardwick, and Michael Wells. They are the front of the forward pack, or just the forward pack, I guess you could call it. I was going to say the front of the pack, but then I realized that could be also, I guess, referring to just the front row. As I said happy earlier, as long as we put up a fight, I'm happy. It looks like they are starting this one very nicely. It is going to be Stacey Ely with his first touch of the game. Kobus Elof once again passing it back across Matamor off to big run for from Reece Hodge. It's an aggressive man stolen there. No, it's a penalty. Calm the Rebels. And there says Amelia, their backline for this game. Matamor, James Tuttle, then also Glenn Vaihu, Rainu, Stacey Ely, Andrew Callaway, and Reece Hodge. The lineup that they have gone with for this game. I haven't actually got the pop-ups for this one. I did end up taking a phone call and also a message conversation in between the two gaps as well about time, or I guess about when me and George are going to be filming. And it sounds like Monday. Sounds like a good day. And also room for the Force. Who do you go for? And now, I mean, the Force are the favourites, so they should win. But then saying that HBF Park, it didn't really have that same momentum. That was actually dead in goal from Reece Hodge. So I'll say the Force, because that is a big mistake from Reece Hodge early on in the game. He's not too happy. I was very angry with that one. Who's going to score the first try? I would say Waihu. To pick this one, says Kanye, exactly right. Like, that's the thing. This game could easily go to either side. Yes, the Rebels were $2.50 underdogs, but they could easily be $1.50 favourites in like 2 minutes' time. Like, that is how close these guys will be. I hope that it is a close encounter and one side doesn't completely dominate and run away with it. But yeah, we will have to wait and see who will be that side that win it. Also, the Rebels do have a decent record at HBF Park there as well. And also, we've got I've got the 4x5 number. My tongue forgot how to work for a second there, and also played a watch from both teams. So yes, Ed, I would go Glenn Vaihu alongside. I mean, I'm actually going to go both wingers for the Rebels. Andrew Callaway is slotting in there. He hasn't really had a huge game so far throughout the season, so I feel like this game could be his opportunity to really prove himself. For the wingers on the Western Force, I'm actually going to say Manasa Mateli as well, because he is a dangerous individual. When Jeremy Thrush, the big man in the thumbnail, and also in the lock duo for this matchup, he's going to be up against Matt Phillip, who are both brilliant at stealing a line out. It's going to be available at the back for Ian Pryor, and also Callaway needs to score tonight. And as I sure does now, it's a good run forward from Jake Strawn. Now fired it back to Kyle Godwin. Still going to be available there for them. No Richard Kahui for this game, I should also mention. And also in the front row, Faleti Kaitu will not be starting, instead coming off the bench, which might be a bit of a super sub situation for the Western Force in the later stages. Currently now Pryor fires it back on the short side into the hands of Bailey Quenzel. He sees the gap. He's got Stunder with him. If he can link up, he does so. It goes through the hands of Stunder, though, and it goes into touch. But a good run forward from the Western Force to start off this match for them. That was a very nice attacking play. Currently, Bernard Stunder, he was close to being able to go down the wing. Balin Quenzel. In the end, it was just a brilliant run forward. Callaway, great cover defense. He put on the pressure on Stunder. And it also meant that they had just enough time to be able to link someone up. I saw Matt Phillip pretty much just yelling in the guy's ear as he went past him. I don't know whether or not that will really result in a tackle, unfortunately. But now it's going to be at the back. Jordan Ulysses. He's had a few injuries with that rib cage kind of region. They've got the advantage now for the Rebels, though. Tuttle passes it back across. That's going to be Rainu. Pops the ball up. Good hands from Wilkin. Was dragged down also Tuttle. there in support for the offload. Mata'amua. Now on the outside, Stacey Ely grubber. Waihu's got toe, but so does Manasa Mataeli. It just goes into touch. And also first try will be scored in the first 10 minutes. And there says Ed, it does seem pretty likely at the moment. The pace that these two sides have started at for just the first 5 minutes, it seems like it could easily go either way. It's actually the Rebels' throw here. They're going to be right where they need to be, just out in front of the post. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who else do you think? We've said Waihu, we've said Mataeli, and we've also said Andrew Callaway. Who do you think is the big standouts in the 4-pack for both of these teams? I'd say Jordan Ulysses is going to be an important man just because he is always there in kind of that situation of the Roller Moore. It's going to be taken nicely by the Rebels now. Jordan Ulysses got this one at the back, and it does look like it's slowly creeping towards the line. 5 meters out here, Jordan Ulysses still hanging on to it. Tuttle's with him at the back if he does decide to use him. It's gone down, and Ulysses does have to pass it out the back. Rain Nu'u now trying to hit it up at the line. There's a good tackle on him, Hamish. I have not got long because I need to work on my video tomorrow. Live stream offload back up to Jordan Ulysses. He's got the try. And I mean, if that isn't the perfect time to say that he was going to be one of the keys, I feel like now is. And he was doing very nicely there. But the Rebels, they have scored the opening try of the match. I see that the Rebels, the Waratahs, not the Waratahs, the Warriors are actually going to Golden Point up against the Cowboys, which is relatively close there. But Jordan Ulysses scores the first try of the match, and that was in the 6 minutes. So you did bang on with the prediction there for Ed, saying that it would be in the first 10. It was just nicely built up. Matamua picking the right pass. And they seem like they're going to have so many offloads throughout this game. Like I mentioned about those odds, I decided to check it just then. Now the Force are $2.05 underdogs, and the Rebels become the favourite. And also get in Ulysses. And there says Xavier Brown on Warriors versus Cowboys, are through Golden Point. And there as well. Try time, let's go. But yeah, they say that it is going to extra time. So hopefully we do get to see someone do decent. And they want to try time, let's go. And there as well says Amelia. But Jordan Ulysses, the man who was able to score it there for a side. And it's interesting how quickly everything kind of changes in such a short amount of time in a game of rugby. Like, it looks so dominant for a little half second for the Western Force down the other end with a good run, a line break, and then from there, just that little mistake, and the Rebels go the full length for the field and score. Good evening, Hamish. How was your day? What did you get up to? Pretty much today was a sleeping day because I stayed up late doing like live streams, or not live stream, but live stream preparation last night. So that was what I was up to at all random hours. And then I ended up waking up today just before the live stream, probably about an hour and a half beforehand, and ended up doing some more preparation, more videos, and now we're here. And it is very exciting, the amount of stuff that we got on this weekend. We've not just got Super Rugby. We've got, alongside that, that was actually a hand from, I think, Andrew Callaway. So they've said now it's going to be the throw for the Western Force. But yeah, we've got that for the Super Rugby. We've got the Champions Cup. We have also got the 7 Circuit. We've got the URC. Yeah, it ended up smacking the Callaway hand, I believe, as it bounced up. And also we have got his Ulysses debut in Wallabies. I think he has. If he hasn't, he's been in the squad quite often, but just seems to miss out a little bit. But I believe that he has got one. And can you read my message before? I do. You loud at my head. And there says Brandon in there. I think I did read out that last one, Brandon, about the stream and the work tomorrow. Well, that one is over now. Pryor passing it back across. It's going to be Kane Kateka with a nice run forward, 20 metres out. Pryor once again going to be trying to link up with Fergus Lee, Warner, Pasatoa on the outside. Jake Strawn tries to go through. He's just hit hard, though. And what a start for the Melbourne Rebels. Certainly very nicely done by them so far. Currently 7-0 after 8 minutes. Backline movement. Pasatoa goes off to the hands of, it looks like Greg Holmes, but I believe it's actually Santiago Malverano, the Argentine international. And it's a penalty against him. And Golden Point for the Warriors against Esnov Mum. Now, the last time I tuned on a game for the Warriors that was going to Golden Point, they lost. So I'm not going to be looking at it in terms of actually watching it. I'm going to be keeping updated with it, of course. But yeah, last time I actually tried to watch them play in Golden Point, they lost pretty much straight away with a drop goal. So I've decided, in hopes that it kind of gives them that little bit of luck that they need, I'm not going to check it till after, but it probably will not make a difference. Roosters versus Broncos is underway. Might come and go this stream, says Ed. No worries at all, mate. Currently, there are a couple big games taking place in the NRL, that is for sure. Wait, so if that game's underway, does that mean there's a little bit of an overlap in the NRL? Because, of course, they don't really prepare for Golden Point time in that one. But now, passing it off It's a knock on from the Rebels. Godwin, but a bit of a juggle there. Nicely taken there by the number 14 for this game. It is actually Brad Lacey, who we haven't really seen too much of throughout this Super Rugby season. Normally on one wing, it is Manasa Mateli out on the other wing. Is it Tony Pulu they've gone with a couple of times? And the pass, Manasa Mateli down the wing. Come on, Johnson. And there as well, Johnson. Oh, Sean Johnson. I just realized who you were talking about. I was like, hang on, who's Johnson in this game? And also, I'm very busy. So I'll be on a bit of work to do as I see you next time. So we will see you later, mate. Thunder dropped the ball there. The Rebels have got this back on the halfway. And this game started at a frantic pace between these two sides. It's advantage over. It's going close to the touchline. It's got a little bit too much kick on it, though. It's gone into the in-goal area. Pasatoa decides to run it out rather than taking it on the goal line. Drop out, does kick it. It's a good kick downfield as well. Does decide to kind of reap those rewards of the risk that he did create. Jordan Ulisi, the one try scorer in the first 10 minutes of this game. Come on, Rebels. And there says Amelia. Now going to be lining up this line-out throw from about 40 meters out, I believe it will be, that the Rebels have got this line-out throw. And also, we've got I'm very busy. What do you think? And there, as I says, Brandon, it does sound like you are very busy. Well, it sounds like I'll take your word for it. Currently 11 minutes through. And the Rebels, he's just moving the referee. He's trying to knock the referee to the side a little bit there. And I was like, yes, there we go, Johnson. And there's if the Warriors been able to do so, do let me know. Currently now, it is going to be a penalty there to the Rebels. And I was like, well, who says no, Mum? So I assume that means that the Warriors, me not watching it, helped them big time, and they have been able to get themselves the win. Nice. See, that's the thing. I still remember that one like fondly. It was right at the end of another game of Super Rugby, I think it was. And for everyone three, I said they would win. And there as well says Betty Wagon. But yeah, I pretty much, at the end of a Super Rugby one, we were like, oi, Hamish, it's going to Golden Point. And I was like, oh, okay. And then just as I flicked over, about 10 seconds later, the other team hit a field goal, won the game. And I was like, right, that was unfortunate. Hopefully that wasn't completely my fault. But this time it seems like it's worked out. Matt Moore here, looking to take on the 3 points, and Warriors won by a point. And there as well says it's nicely done by the Warriors, 25 points to 24 up against the Cowboys. Matt Tamua so far for 2022, 82% kicking accuracy, only missing out on the 4 opportunities so far throughout this season. Lining up this one, but it's so important that he gets the points when they decide to take on the 3. That one's gone down the middle, and the Rebels, they now have themselves a 10-0 lead over the Western Force. Brilliant start to the match for the Rebels. And now they are going to be making their way back to halfway for another opportunity, possibly a little bit of attack. Wait, no, has that game kicked off already? Oh, yeah, it has today at 9:55, so it's actually 10 minutes earlier than the NRL sometimes kicks off. I know that sometimes there's a 10:05 game, isn't there? Now it's going to be Pasatoa, puts it up high, kicks it long, taken nicely there by Wilkin, inside of the 22 for the Rebels. Wrestled down in the end by big Jeremy Thrush. Now available at the back, James Tuttle, just going to be rolling back. So far, so good. Says Amelia, yep, looking very strong for the Rebels in the early stages. Kicked in behind, that one's going close to the touch line. It's actually gone out, but he was inside of the 22, so Tuttle was allowed to clear that one out on the full. And now the Western Force have got this line out about 40 meters out from the line. Is Tuttle Australian? He kind of looks English to myself. I don't know what he's saying. I'm going to quickly... he was just making random... Okay, no, he's an Australian rugby union player. Has he got any sort of, English genes? No. Okay, fair enough. Just looks a little English. That's all. Now, Cobus Eloff. Good carry forward for him. He's been phenomenal throughout the Super Rugby Pacific season. Always just seems to be able to make impact after impact. He scored about 3 tries so far this season for the Rebels. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, he's almost their leading try scorer. Now it's going to be taken nicely by Manasa Mataele. Missed tackle from Callaway. And now skipping to the side. It's a good tackle in the end. It was Canham who had to drag him down. Now backline movement for the Western Force. Currently 40 meters out from their own line here. Coenza finds the offload. Now Goblin with the forward pass. They're going to have to go back and check that one. But for now, it's going to be running forward for Brad Lacey. It's a penalty to the Western Force. Okay, so they're not going to be checking that forward pass from a little bit earlier on. If it wasn't forward, it was extremely close to being forward. I think we get to see the replay of it in a very short moment. Manasa Matieli, though, he was sensational in that play, running straight round Andrew Callaway, stepping off his left, stepping off his right, and he's smacked in the tackle by Canham, who kind of spun him around a little bit for that one. Now kicking it for the touchline for the Western Force, and it's going to be about 22 metres out, and also Warriors are sitting 6 so far, so I hope they can continue this winning way. And definitely worth that NRL thriller at the death, with Auckland beating North Queensland by a winning drop goal, especially when this is an average Super Rugby game between Force and the Rebels as well. And the SSM says, although I've learned my lesson with Golden Point times, pretty much I can't watch a game of Golden Point if I have a team that I want to win, because they always lose. So I just strategically didn't watch it because I knew that it would help me out. That's going to be a knock-on against the Western Force now. And Cowboys had Townsnoob have their field goal. Sees the music Kiwi there. But handling errors so far, 2 for the Western Force and 1 for the Rebels. Jordan Ulisi, once again, I think has got some form of injury. He's had so many of them, unless it's just the sprig on the boot maybe came undone. Yeah, he wants a new boot. He's split it in half. Okay, I think Damon Murphy was just seeing what was happening. Anyone wondering about the game between South Africa and Bangladesh? Currently, South Africa, they are batting first, and they are sitting 107 for 1 at this stage of that test match. And that is the second match and the last match between Bangladesh and South Africa for their test series. I believe it's Monday night / Tuesday that we will be able to cover that one on the channel. So be sure to stick around. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you do love your cricket as well. And then we've got the Kiwi Lads Sport channel up in that pinned comment if you have got any other sports that you do like watching, whether that is football, rugby league, maybe some AFL at some stage. We might give a go, even though I have no idea about AFL, but we'll slowly learn about it. I've worked out that the song, I was trying to work out what it is. I was going to say it's a bit early to bring out the Sweet Caroline. Normally that's a halfway through the match song, but it's a different one. Currently total carries 10 extra for the Western Force, and they have made 89 total meters compared to the Rebels 34. But looking at the scoreboard, you wouldn't think it, because currently the Rebels have got themselves a 10-0 lead at the moment. But now going to be a scrum feed, just taking their time getting this one set up. Luckily the time is off, because I remember that game for an Australian Super Rugby game that we had, how many was it? About maybe 13 to 15 minutes of scrum reset time, which was not ideal for us in that one. But currently now will be James Tuttle once again putting this ball in for the Rebels. It's a big push in the front row. It's going wonky. It's really wonky. It's a penalty to the Rebels. It was just too much force behind that scrum push from the front row. Cobus Eloff, Harry Lloyd, or in fact, sorry, it's Matt Gibbon, and then also Jordan Ulisi. Risochi will be able to kick this one for the touchline. Big Cobus Eloff. He has had, I mean, if you don't have him up there for one of the informed Australian kind of Super Rugby players, definitely in that front row. I mean, I know that Taniela Tupou also gets quite an honourable mention for his season so far, but it's been looking very impressive. Is it weird that more focusing on the Rebels, even though the Cats are playing against the Lions? And as I says, Amelia, I mean, that's the thing. The Rebels, though, that's the big game for yourself. You're a Rebels fan through and through, and at the moment they're playing very nicely. Nicely taken by Canham with the one hand. Matt Tamua going back across into the hands of Ray Nu'u. Does get a couple weeks from meters. I believe he actually plays for the Highlanders, or in fact, sorry, Otago in the Bunnings NPC, which is where we have seen quite a few of these players in recent times. And Matt Phillip, one of his first carries of the match, he's wrestled down Fergus Lee. Warner tries to strip it. He has got a good firm grip on that ball. Jordan Ulisi flat pass out to him, still in his hand though. And I said, brother, Warriors lost that game my weekend. If the Warriors lost that game, my weekend would have been a impressive week. And there's his music USA. At the moment, they are going on an absolute tear for themselves by the looks of it. Winning a couple games in a row now. Reece Hodge trying to step through. And the Rebels actually winning their last game up against the Fijian Drua. If they can replicate that and get themselves another win here, that would help them towards the top 8. And I'll say, yeah, just wait. I can sense the rage is coming, as says Amelia. Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see how it goes, of course. I feel like, yeah, that's the thing. You did mention about the fact that you do like an Instagram story, and your friends must just know when the Rebels are playing badly. They're like, uh-oh, it's about to hit. We're about to see that Amelia rage for the Rebels. And even if Rebels win, they'll have to beat Force by a lot of points as they will be on 10 points unless they win by a bonus point. And this is Novmum. So, yeah, it's certainly going to be a bonus point worthy game for the Rebels, although there's not many teams that beat the Western Force with a bonus point too normally, unless, of course, they have some bad games. But currently, the Rebels here, they will be sitting on 10 if they win this game. The Western Force, if they win this game, they will actually move themselves up to 16, but still be in 7th. And then alongside that, if the Rebels get the bonus point, they do go just above the Hurricanes before their game. But, of course, that is a game in hand for the Rebels there as well. But working their way towards the top 8, I'm sure would be huge for them. The Highlanders, they are actually sitting now on 7 points, I should mention. So they boosted themselves up into, in fact, sorry, they actually are sitting on 8. So they have got the Rebels pushed back down to 10 just for now. But that is because I haven't updated that one. But we will have it updated for tomorrow's. And I'll say, hey, RDA, y'all, hope you're all well. And there we certainly are. Exciting game of rugby between Moana Pacifica and the Hurricanes. That's a lie. It was the Highlanders. And now we've got another game, Rebels versus Western Force, and they've currently got a very nice league going. And there's always alternative sports like AFL and NRL. If this game is boring, this is Savvy Sizer. And I'll say that no, because I swear, like no tomorrow and go unhinged. When it comes to the Rebels, the same can be said with Geelong and the Melbourne Storm. And there's other Matt Tamua. He's been able to get that one over, and now the score 13-0 to the Rebels. Brilliant start, and back as well. And there says Brandon also, I'm keeping up to date with the Geelong games anyways. So Katie Dixon says, no, mum. And they're about 20 minutes through, and it is already 13-0 for the Rebels. The HBF Park supporters for the Western Force have gone a little bit quiet at this point in time, just because this probably wasn't what they would have been expecting. And let's go. Come on, Rebels. And they're nicely done by the Western Force to grab that one, though. And now Bailey Coenzel, ball's going to be available at the back. Pryor fires it back across. Big Santiago Marano now having his first carry. Passing it back across. In fact, sorry, it's the second carry of the match. And I'll say Novmum with the heart. So here's Katie Dixon Pryor going off to Fergus. Lee Warner straightens with his run up to the 22 now for the Western Force. Pryor passes it back across once again. Pasatoa stepping off the left. Couple extra meters for the Western Force. It wasn't the best pass to Bailey Coenzel, but he's actually done pretty well to still be able to make it to the ground, or roughly where they were for their last phase. That ball stripped clean by Stacey Ely. That's been knocked down, and I believe it did go backwards. So will we play on Matt Phillip? Looks for the offload. A lot of pressure here. I believe that is almost playing the guy on the ground, but it's still available for them. Going to be the big man at number 7 for this game, Richard Hardwick. There was a lot of pressure from both individual sides in the breakdown. Now fire back from Tuttle and Matt Tamua it is. And also, since the visitors are in the lead, they certainly are 13-0 and currently now going down the wing. Brad Lacey with a step. Still going. Someone's got to drag him down. And in the end, it was actually Josh Canham was able to get that job finished. Now, Kyle Godwin, low tackle on him. Brilliant tackle from, it was Stacey Ely. It went forward. And that will mean now it is the Rebels who have got themselves the scrum on the 22. Katie Dixon, some want to, although that was Joe, I believe it was, but I'm still confused at who Joe is, because on your video, Brandon, I did see that he did comment saying that he really enjoyed the video. So it's as if Joe has had someone else get on his account and put something else, and I was like, we go, hello, Katie, hope you're well. And then I love the way we are playing right now, but my question is, can we hold on? And the Western Force, we know that they'll have a little bit of a fight back in that one, and also we look at there, Katie has said it was Joe from earlier, but Joe is also one of Brandon's subscribers who is on his videos regularly. So I don't know what the go was there. And also, Joe, it says Betty Wagon. Well, that one, but currently now 21 and a half minutes through this game. It's a beautiful sunset in the background. It's actually at HBF Park, or HBF Park, sorry, but it's a little bit earlier than it normally would be because of the fact that normally they do have their games in a couple hours' time. They've gone with a slightly earlier one, which does mean we get a slightly earlier night, you would like to say, but not really. I still got a lot that we have got on, but we are doing the sevens tomorrow, followed by Super Rugby, followed by, after that, we have got the URC. We got some sleep after that. In fact, no, we might almost have some Champions Cup after that. And then And then from there, it is going to be waking up the next day, sevens, Champions Cup, and cricket, I think, is another one that we might have a little bit of, and just a Muppet. And there as well says Betty Wagon, also who was angry from going to Ram Ranch. There as well says Betty Wagon, that's going to be uneven in the scrum, a little bit of an early push from both sides. Now, because of it, they are going to need a scrum reset. And above it, that's gone now. Thanks to your friendly neighborhood mod, Seb. And there's that, of course, can't count out the force just yet. They might summon the power of the dark side later And there as well says Sammy Souza. Although that's the thing, thinking back to last year, it was that win up against the Reds that was huge for them. But that was Jordan Olawafela, who did score quite a few tries. I bet you they're missing him out on the wing for this season. Although Manasa Mateli, very good signing. And I don't know who he is. And then says Brandon. Although I guess you probably got more chance of knowing him than we do because he is commenting on your videos consistently. So he's one of your subscribers. So I guess, yeah, it's just a question of who he is. Indeed, it also the Force better not summon the rage as well. And there's Amelia, and that sucks. Hope you get some rest sometime. And then, hey, brother, I'm well. It's 4 a.m. and I can't sleep. Geez, 4 a.m. is late. And I say in it way too much. I think you've started that a little bit, Sebastian. You often have that in it there, and then I read it out, and it just rolls off the tongue now. Possession currently 63% for the Rebels. 2 7+ phases for the Western Force. Only the one for the Rebels throughout the early stages. But once again, the scoreboard does represent the fact that the Rebels, they were able to score themselves a try in the form of Jordan Ulesi, and then also 2 conversions for the penalties going over. Saw someone with a hot dog and also a pie in the background. It looked all right there at HBF Park. Has anyone been to HBF Park? We've got another scrum reset, so we've got plenty of time to talk about this. Anyone been to HBF Park? And if so, is the food any good? And also, if you haven't been to HBF Park, what was the stadium that you went to that had the best food that you've ever had at a stadium? Do let me know. I'll be dead asleep by then. There's us, says Paddy Wagon. Also, I can hear more pork in there as well, says Paddy Wagon. They're quite loud, aren't they? I remember way back in my childhood, we went to Stewart Island, and there was a Kia that decided that it wanted to come in to the house. So it just kept on knocking on the sliding doors. And because we were sleeping quite close to the sliding doors, there was just continuous knocking from a Kia that was like, oi, I want to steal your stuff. I told you, we're even. I've been saying, yeah, nah, way more often since I'm on the channel as well, said Sebastian. See, that's the thing as well. I didn't think I said yeah, nah that much. But then I listened to some of the ones, and I'm just like, yeah, nah, like all the time. And you know what's weird is that Amy Park has the cheapest stadium food in Melbourne. There you go. And our brother Vanquishing Muppets. And there as well says Katie Dixon for that one. But yeah, food-wise, I know that my mum was a big fan of the MCG pizza overall. That one just goes into Dutch. That's a brilliant kick from Research there. Now 22 metres out, they are going to have themselves another opportunity to go for some sort of either rolling maul or backline movement. Jordan Ulesi receives that ball. Now I need to make sure that this one is nice and straight. Arguably not straight, unfortunately, for Jordan Ulesi. And McLove Kenny, how's it going? And there's Sebastian, and also here you go there. Thanks, brother. It's all good. MCG food costs like an arm and a leg. And they're, yeah, certainly expensive at the ground. Like even just a pot of chips will pretty much cost you your jacket overall, unfortunately. But they're nice chips. So at least that's one thing. I'd hate to think that you're paying an absolute fortune to get like really bad food. I'm trying to think. There's a stadium that my mum and dad went to ages ago, and they said that the chips were utterly like disgusting. And it wasn't Australia. What stadium was it? I can't quite think of what it was, but pretty much the chips were just complete terrible. I guess. No, you know, just chilling with insomnia. And there as well, says Katie Dixon. That's just made me think, do you think there's anyone called Insomnia? Like for their name? I feel like that's kind of a cool girl's name, but not really at the same time because it's like named after something that you don't really want. But Insomnia is kind of a cool name if it was a name. You know, people call their child Peer and all sorts, so you might as well add something else. And also, Joe, is there any way I make a video, but I don't know why he gets men sometimes so much. And also, Amy Park, like most stadiums in Australia, put chicken salt on them as they should. And yeah, says Amelia. Currently, Pasatoa, he kicks that one for the touchline way downfield now. Jordan Ulesi will have himself the line-out throw. That one almost stolen by the Western Force with the Rebels still hanging on to this one. Callaway offloads it back across to the hands of Ray Nu'u. The Moorpork is the only remaining native owl species found in New Zealand apart from the barn owl, which has only very recently colonised New Zealand from Australia. That's a yellow card there. Who got that yellow card? I think that's actually Kane Katika. A yellow card, that's pretty harsh on the halfway line, but he got told to roll away. He decided he didn't want to. So Kane Katika now, he's gone to the bin for the next 10 minutes. And that will be a big moment here. It kind of reminds me of the character at the end of the Addams Family. It was named Dementia and Uncle Festa. I had a crush on her. Says Kato Dixon, and also just ignore him, bro. You can just get rid of him and just do your thing, brother. And yeah, that's true. Like, you can always like either block them or hide the user from channel or anything along those lines. I don't know why I do just. Maybe it's your auto correct. Did you write just sit quite a few times at some stage, maybe? Because I know of some people that, like, when you have a word that you've misspelled a couple times, it just kind of becomes, I guess, like second nature to the phone. It wasn't a sentence. English isn't my second nature. And I was over there, oh, well, at least there's rugby in the middle of the night. And please don't think about sleeping pills. Those things mess up your organism completely. And then I was like, geez, Amish family, heck no, I don't miss sleeping pills. I smoke a ton of weed or a pound of weed instead. And welcome in, Tesla. I hope you're doing well, mate. You got your rocket ship there. I'm very pointy. And I was my missus, okay, so the rocket ship, did you get to blast off before she got it? So you're like, oh no, you have to isolate as well, don't you? So you probably get on board at this stage. How's your, because that's the thing, 7 days seems like a little while, like when you're actually in it type thing, whereas 7 days people would be like, oh, it's just a week. But then when you got nothing to do, like you just sit there going, that will always be, oh yeah, no, it has, is my house. You know, you just get confused. And also, I know why I just seen, I just put S before the U. And then also we have got there when I deal with haters, says Amelia. And also we got there, I know, I hope she feels better soon, brother. Yeah, it's a quick recovery. Have you got it yourself as well? I reckon Force will get try less in the first half, or sorry, try less in the first half. And yeah, man, I got isolate, no work, and I'm for sure gonna get it as well. And this is Tesla. Nice. It's the thing. It sucks that like you have to isolate, but then you're like isolating when you're negative. So like, are you in different rooms type thing, or are you just kind of accepting the fact that if she's got it and she's also in the house, you're probably going to end up crossing paths at some stage? I was saying Smiths. I think there was some Smiths chips in there. They looked all right overall. And also I've done ISO, and I swear I cracked it by day 4. And there's says Amelia. That's the thing, you get so much new time. So if you don't have like serious symptoms, if you do end up getting them, have you got any hobbies that you've once wanted to try but didn't have the time to do? I feel like that's the perfect time to be able to do so. It's like how me and George, we've had the talk about what to do if one of us gets it. And pretty much if we aren't heavily symptomatic type thing, but we've both got it, we're going to have to isolate. And we were just pretty much saying that like, if we're not feeling too bad, like that's going to be 7 days of pure editing and filming time. And we are the lads, the Kiwi lads, we are bonkers and we are mad. We're the biggest ganja smokers that the world's ever had. Put that on a shirt. I probably can't sell that, can I? I've already accepted the fact I'll get it. And then wish we were in different rooms. There's a lap ball's ripped away by the Western Force. Now Kyle Goldwyn kicks it in behind, looking close to the 50-22. I think he might have gone a bit too much. No, it bounces up beautifully. And Rainu, in fact, it's Stacey Ely. Now tries to spin out of the tackle. I'm going to sing that at the rugby games when I play my I thought that was going to be my trombone. I was looking, singing and tromboning is very impressive. Tromboning doesn't sound right. So I've got there. I'm going to play my tambourine. And as I says, Katie Dixon kicked downfield by Matt Timor from inside of the 22. Manasa Mateli takes it quickly. And they've decided that they do want to play on for a little bit longer here, stepping around to the side. It's going to be a nice pass off to Manasa Mateli. He was lined up by Kobus Eloff originally. I believe it was the number 14, Brad Lacey, who really had his ribcage re-rattled and adjusted by Kobus Eloff. Backline moving once again. Godwin wrestled backwards. Very nicely done by Stacey Ely to make the tackle on him. Pryor back across now. It's going to be big Andrew Reddy. We had an Andrew at number 2 for the last match as well. That was Andrew Makaleo. How many other Andrews do we know in the competition? Andrews. It's a fun name. And a cheers so much, Katie, and everyone in the chat. I'm off to sleep as well. Says Tesla. And at least we will see a little bit later on. Tesla, and hopefully you do feel all right later on. And also, we have got their seagull at the moon. So says Tesla. And take care, Tesla. Says Sebastian. And also, I got COVID. My husband never got it despite us being in the same room 95% of the time. Jeez, that's impressive. As you say, so maybe I know that people kind of have different levels of I guess, how contagious they are. So maybe either he was very good at dodging you, or you were very good at dodging him, / maybe you didn't have the kind of contagious gene side of things. Now, Pryor, it's gone through the hands. He picks it up and goes again. I think it's going to be a knock on, though, from Santiago Marano. And now they are going to be a scrum only 5 meters out. I feel like Paddy subscribed for my YouTube channel. Do you, Kiwi lads? This is Brandon. I think you have sent me the link or you did send me the link a few months ago on Discord, I believe it was. And as I see, Tesla says, Amelia, and also have a good one, brother. And sleep well, mate. And immunity. We both had our boosters in there as well. So I guess, does the booster help with like kind of, I thought it was always like if you got it, you didn't get it as bad, but I guess it causes some sort of thing in the body to slow it down and that sort of thing. I'm not really a scientist, I've learned. Like, I don't understand food, let alone people. Like, I used to do plant biology because I was like, that's easier than like organs and whatnot. Like, I could tell you how a plant photosynthesizes, but I couldn't tell you how a human brain works, although that's very complicated, isn't it? Definitely some brains we have seen. But that one's going to be now going up in the front row. And now 5 meters out from their own line. They are still going to have another scrum feed currently. 18, that's a lie. 8 minutes left in this one. Have immunity from COVID. I will fight it off. And there's us, says Paddy. Did you end up having it that other time, Paddy, or was it just a cold for yourself? I assume it was a cold in that case, possibly. Or if you did have it, actually, sorry, you would have gotten that slight immunity side of things, didn't you? No, Paddy, subscribe. And, if he is, and I think you are the only one who can actually see who is subscribed to your channel, and that's only if he has got his subscription set to public. Which reminds me, 6 football fans are arrested here in Romania. They smuggled vodka and cigarette packs and weed, also in cigarette packs, and had too much of a good time in the stands. Legends. They smuggled. Wait, so you're not allowed? Oh no, I guess it's not bring your own alcohol, isn't it? I give it a 1-2, and it's out. And there's us, says Betty Wagon. Another thing I finally got me greasy mitts on is MLB The Show 17 today. I got the game just to play Road to the Show. There's Amelia there as well. And I did get, what did I get the other day? I bought Rugby 22 on on the Xbox for that one. But yeah, it was because I had to get it so that we could have 2 of us playing. So I spent an extra, I pretty much bought the game twice. But hopefully we do get to film it a little bit. And I opened my match attacks, and not one of them was Simon Kaja there. And good job, Paddy. Are you subscribing? Photosynthesis is awesome. Sometimes I wish I could absorb nutrients from photosynthesis sometimes, when I don't feel like cooking food. That would be quite fun, wouldn't it? Just sit out in the sun, drink the occasional bit of water, and then just let the sun do the rest. Nicely stolen there by the Western Force. My tongue's not working today. I think it's because I bit it yesterday, and it still hasn't quite recovered now. Godwin. No, it was Kawinzo. He's dropped the ball, and now it's going to be available for the Rebels here. And yeah, says Betty, and also I brought the game twice, and I said sometimes twice. And yeah, I always say sometimes, don't I? Also as well, and also is another word. Nonetheless, that's another one that I just seem to not be able to get out of my vocabulary. There was a part a little while ago where I almost got it out of the system, but then it's come back. Well, that one as well. See, did it again. I'm going to try not to say as well for the rest of the live stream, other than just then. If I do say it, ladies and gentlemen, just put as well all in caps in the chat so that I know that I have messed up. That one didn't count, though, for that one. And yes, as for me, and then as I says, Brandon, forget that as well. That one didn't count. From now on, it's a penalty to the Western Force at this stage, 400 times per stream. Yeah. I don't know how you guys don't get sick of hearing it, to be honest. Like, I just always say it. Didn't end up saying it there. Joining the ruck incorrectly as I'm allowed to wait. No, I can't actually read out when you say it, can I? Because or else then that encourages me to say it more. But yep, you did pick up on that one. At the moment now, Jake Strawn going to be kicking this one for the touchline. Going into the corner. I'm really focusing on every single word that I say here. Like, I just don't want to mess up for the wording. I need to remember to talk, though. I can't just sit here in silence, can I? It wouldn't really be a commentary live stream. But now Andrew Reddy Going to be lining up this one and looking at him, trying not to say what he normally says. Says Sebastian, yeah, it's actually very hard. I've learned, like, I'm trying to just channel my inner non-words. And I was taking intense concentration. It is. Did I just say it? No, I don't think so. Apparently now only 5 meters out from the line here, and it's going to be James Tuttle. Does push that ball back into the hands of Matt Tamua, and he kicks it into touch. Close. Yep, that one's cleared the touchline. And now 25 meters out from the line, it will be the line out for the Western Force. Only 30 seconds left of their yellow card. And there are 3 minutes 30 left of this first half currently. And just yawn, says Brandon. Yawning's probably the easier option. Did I say it again? And force line out equals trash. And there, says Joe Bro, has gone to the front there. Didn't look hugely straight for that one to come on force. I got my pension on you, says Reggie Rock. Oh, Reggie Rock, sorry. Jeez, that's risky. But at the end of the day, did you get them for the odds that were higher or lower for them being favourites or underdogs? Reggie Rock, do let me know. And also, that's me when my trainer tells me not to swear. And also, what's happening? It says Batty Wagon. I'm trying not to say 2 words that I normally say only a metre short of the line. Stunned around the side here, and it's still going to be available for them. Looking close. Look like trying to rush up a little bit. Quick hands, Manasa Mateli. I think he might have got that one down, but they will be checking it. That was a brilliant finish, though, from him. DC as the champion, completing the kicking challenge. Yeah, he was phenomenal throughout that one and just kept on going and going. I know that he had a few guests through it, and what 2 words, and they're the ones that Brandon did put just a little bit earlier on in the chat. And I don't think your repetitive phrases are an issue when your brain is running at 4,000 miles per hour. At least it must be different from how you usually talk to other people, Hamish. That is a good point. That is true. Like, I wouldn't normally say what I say as often outside of Matele must or please be a try and favourites. And there says Reggie, so yeah, you'll definitely need them. I'm confused. Tell me. And he thinks there's 70. So it is those 2. I'm sorry, but swearing is something I can't control. Apparently, on-field decision will be checking the grounding here to see whether or not Manasa Mataeli was able to get it down over the line for the first try of the match for the Western Force as they try and fight their way back into this contest. If they score just before halftime, there will be a perfect way of being able to do so. I get a little bit of a tongue roll even when I'm trying not to now. I feel like I'm starting to slightly turn either Portuguese, Spanish, maybe a little bit of Argentinian, that's Portuguese or Spanish, or maybe a little bit of Afrikaan. And there's also, I might have Mataeli in my fantasy team, so please be a try. And there says Joe Bro. Currently now they're just going to be looking at this backline. Oh, okay, it's a high tackle in the end from Matt Tamua, I believe. I'm afraid my pension is gone. Then if the Force don't pull finger out, you win away and lose at home. Make it make sense. And there says Reggie Rock. Oh, Matt Tamua might be going to the bin here for 10 minutes, so that might be decent. I was trying to get him to say it, not to you guys. And then also, Hamish, would you do a 24-hour live stream to raise funds for a charity? Would be a great idea. It would be, although I wouldn't be able to do talking for the full 24 hours, more than likely. But we have actually talked about doing something similar in the past, because I think I did about 20 hours of live streaming in 24 hours. I was just to give $1,000. If he doesn't say it, Hamish has to give it. Wait, what? And also, we have got the I'm turning into Portuguese. I just think I'm turning Portuguese. And there's okay, head-on-head contact. This could be a yellow. And damn it, Tamua. And there from Amelia. And also, question for you, Hamish. What is your live stream? And as says Brandon, that's a good finish. He's in the air, and he scored the try. Is it a try or it is a try for Manasa Mateli as he goes in the corner and says, yep, I will be having that one. Thank you. It's a great finish. Just no concern for his body. He knew it was going to be a long way down. Once he did end up scoring it, he didn't care. He scored the try. There we go. Try scorers. And it is going to be Mata Eli. Okay. Matt Tamua in the bin for 10 minutes. That is due to his head-on-head contact. Luckily for him, though, if it was any higher and he didn't duck, he would have actually ended up getting himself a red card for that one. But Manasa Mataeli, does get it there. And also, they try. I'll give Hamish I get $1,000 from Hamish since he didn't say it. And I think that is a try. And then come on, please start the comeback. And also, we've got that DC. I didn't do it full 24 hours, maybe your mum. And George can rotate while you have short breaks. Here's Danny Lewis. I feel like trying to convince them that they've got to do a live stream while I'm not there will be a tricky thing to do. It seems the Force, as expected, I would start channeling in a Darth Vader. That one, and that's not what we needed. Damn it, Matt Tamil, you idiot. This is Amelia. Hello, Mum. Keen on a 24-hour live stream.
Yeah, why not?
She says, yeah, why not? Well, I think that might change when we have to do 24 hours.
Yeah, but if it's for charity.
Ian Pryor lining up this one from the touchline. He's missed. And now the score is going to be 5 points for the Western Force and 13 to the Rebels. And Tom Banks got red carded for a similar tackle. Tamua got lucky. Yeah, that's true. And they've said the big thing is because of how much of a duck there was. See, you'd have to argue that was not good from Matt Tamua. Like, he got him good in the head, and there wasn't actually that much duck, and he also didn't hugely wrap the arms, and they've done a machine. And there, as I says, Katie Jackson.
You imagine me and George together while you have a rest.
You and George together while I have a rest. That would be, that's the thing. I'd be trying to rest, but I would still be sitting there with one eye open just going, what are they going to say? So, and also, what charity would you donate to? I think I'd have to look into it if I did end up doing it and try and find one of a good cause type thing. And also give Rebels a red, says Reggie. And also, our Western Force playing well enough to turn this around, says little Nicky. At the moment, they're not looking too badly, but the Rebels, now that they've got a man disadvantage, you'd say after the 10 minutes, they will have themselves back to 15, and I can see them getting another try or two throughout this game. But the Western Force currently looking pretty strong. Pasatoa currently 40 metres out, and also Force can win. And there says Reggie, and also we've got their far out. Tamua is lucky. That's a yellow. It was a head, or it was, if that was a red, it would have ripped his head off. There you go, and goes he. And there is, and also Force will win, says Dougie, for this game. But currently they have been able to win themselves a penalty there for the Rebels for not releasing. And also you have to get George and Donna one live stream together. And yeah, that would be funny. Says Betty Wayne. We've actually got a video that hasn't come out on the channel. They had myself, my mum, and George playing Overcooked, which, I mean, it was an interesting one. How close are you to hitting George in that one? Very close. It was just pretty much, mum would make something in the game, and George would just grab it and throw it off the side of the map so that she had to make it again. She still has flashbacks about that game. And also, Rebels, go, go, go. And there says MH, and also we've got that high says LJ. We actually also played NBA on that video recording session. Maybe I do need to try and find that one some stage. Yeah, I save everything. Currently, Resold's going to be lining up this one. Going to be relatively easy for his standards, I guess you could say. But saying that, he doesn't have the best kicking record for himself. It's got it good. I mean, it's got plenty of distance. It's gone over from Resold, and they were going to halftime. 16 points to 5 up. And we always got that you have to show that. You said it, so you have to show it. And as I says, Betty and Ozzy, we've got that. Who do you think will win, bro? Says Reggie. For your sake, I hope the Western Force, but then we've also got quite a few Rebel supporters. So for them, I hope the Rebels. Do you get your money back if it's a draw, like a complete draw, or do you lose your money? Because if it can be a draw and you get your money back, we'll take a draw. Worst comes to worst. Reds will win. And as I said, Betty Wagon, of course, they don't actually have a game this weekend. They are getting a spell alongside who are they supposed to be playing? They would have been playing the Waratahs if they played in Go the Reds. My younger brother and I played a game called Moving Out. Every time I tried picking up, my brother ended up slapping my character. He just pissed himself laughing. Me and George, we have also played that game. It was actually one of the first videos on the Kiwi Lads channel, I believe. Although it might be privated now, and I think it's actually over on the Kiwi Lads gaming channel. For anyone who does want to check that out, although it's now been renamed to the Kiwi Lads Extra. Well, that one, but currently we are sitting at halftime. 16 points to the Rebels, 5 to the Western Force. So a little bit of a difference, a little bit of a buffer there for the Melbourne Rebels. But yeah, hopefully the second half is just as exciting as we did see for the first half. And we will get some stats to do with this one. For a little moment, one moment. We're on, how do we end up on round 5? We're not in round 5, we're in round 8 already. This competition is flying by currently. And we have got their Force need to get penalty goals. And also we have got their, that was such a funny slapping the ghost in there as well, says Katie Dixon. So yeah, some of you guys from way back in the day probably have seen that video. And yeah, it's a very interesting one. We had a few swear words. in there that was censored. And the slapping bar is the funniest thing about the game. It certainly is. And I would don't know if you do a 24-hour stream, find any sport that is live and do it for 24 hours. I think the biggest thing is, I mean, we'll probably have to do some sort of or extensive research beforehand trying to work out when things are taking place. Because, I mean, we're doing 16 hours of rugby tomorrow, just not quite 24. Then when I played FIFA in my university years, when you conceded a goal, someone would either slap you or pull a chair from under your ass. There you go. Nice. Only in Romania, I guess.
That's an interesting country.
Yeah. Do you want to join me for the second half?
No, I'm going to be.
No, you're going to bed.
It's late.
It is. You excited for the sevens tomorrow?
Probably the best answer is yeah.
Yeah. Gonna be exciting. New Zealand back. Currently, some match stats to do with this game. Currently, the 1 try apiece for the Western Force and the Rebels. That sounds fun, says Paddy Wagon. Also, that's what I love about video games, is when it's actually fun to play instead of borderline raging. And as says Amelia, currently the carry meters, Western Force almost having double the carry meters. Defenders beaten 15 for the Western Force, 3 for the Rebels. And then clean breaks 2 for the Western Force, 1 for the Rebels. So the Rebels have got a lead, even though all of the stats really say that they shouldn't, which is quite interesting there. They've actually missed a lot more tackles. Have also been able to make a few more at the same time, which is good for them. And also it's fun while you're on a verge of passing out when your opponent has scored like 7 goals. And there is and also we have got, what do you think Force need to do to win this or win next round? So I assume we're talking next half, isn't it? So for me, they just need to make sure, first of all, that discipline is there, because if they give away too many penalties, the referee's already shown he's going to the pocket. They've given away 10 penalties in that first half compared to the Rebels of only 2. So, yeah, we will have to wait and see whether or not that is something they go all right with. What the hell is going on with the Force? They're so bad. And there says Aiden as well. So I assume with that reaction, you've got some sort of money on them, Aiden. More likely, and also we have got their FIFA Ultimate difficulty in a nutshell. There says Amelia, and also just play better. Says Patty, not always that simple. Sometimes it just feels like the game's against you, you know? When the AI score a try, or sorry, not a try, a goal in the 96th minute, and you're just like, they wanted that to happen. They wanted to see me sad for that little moment. But then you beat someone 5-0 in the next game, and you just have that seesaw of emotions. Pretty much EA Sports, FIFA. I think it's EA Sports, now you're in the game or something like that. Well, it's in the game. It should be EA Sports roller coaster of emotions, you know, because that is what every game is, really. And also, we've got there, or just find someone who isn't good, and the Force need to score more points than the opposition, says Jobo, and they also need to make up 11 for them. And the cheese is finally out, says Sammy Souza. The cheese is finally out. The cheese is. I feel like I'm missing that reference. The cheese is finally out. The cheese. Who is the cheese? What is the cheese? And I haven't touched FIFA Ultimate Team since FIFA 20. I play mostly the likes of Player Career and Career Mode, even though it's the same thing every year. And EA Sports, what's your pain? Or where's your pain? And there as well, says Paddy Wagon. But currently looking through at some of the stats for this first half, it was actually Manasa Mataeli was able to have himself quite a few running meters for his side. And alongside him, Bailey Quenzel and Brad Lacey, both doing quite nicely, with 3 defenders beaten, 2 defenders beaten, and also 4 defenders beaten for the 3 respectively. Then for the Rebels, the most running meters, Brad Wilkin, 30 from 5 carries, and then Reese Hodge, 20 meters carried, 3 carries for that one. And then leading tackles, Josh Cannon was able to get himself 10. And then it was Stacey Ely, who also did pretty nicely, getting himself 8 tackles, 1 turnover, 1. So he did just have the 1 turnover as well. We have got there. I got my mouse out, says Paddy Wagon. And the rest on the Rebels team is rigged, says Aiden, for that one. And obviously they do. They are playing garbage. And also we have got their cheese. And I had a positive record on FIFA 20 Ultimate Team, slapping muppets from all around the world. Nice. See, that's you probably bet me on that game. Hence why I don't play career. Or I am like you, Amelia, how I play career mode, etc. Just to make sure that I don't lose badly. And also the AI I find easier to read than opposition. And also, I mean, the cards from the referee, yellow and red, especially since they look like a piece of cheese. And also, we have got the Katie got dumped on Monday. Katie, I got dumped on Monday. Hooray. And there says Aiden is what I believe it would be. I don't think Katie was dating anyone that I know of. It was a red cheese. And there says Paddy Wagon. I guess there is actually that red cheese. You know, the one with the like kind of coating? That is red, isn't it? I can't think of what it's called though. Although they've also got those little tiny mini cheese wheels that have a name, but I can't think of what they're called. What are those? Yeah, they're only like that big. No. How do I do it? They're actually smaller. They're probably about that big. Cheez-Its? No. Cheez-Its are a different thing. Because I didn't get dumped. Because I didn't get dumped, brother. I was thinking like a baby cheese in there as well. And also we got their blood cheese. No, I don't think they have blood cheese. They only got blood sausages, I think. And also, that's what I meant. There as I says Aiden. But currently at halftime, 16 points to the Rebels and 5 to the Western Force. What are those miniature cheese wheels called? I'm going to look them up now because I feel like there is a name for them. Mini cheese wheels. Mini cheese wheel. Baby Bell. That's what they are. They're a Baby Bell. They've got a red kind of coating on them. And you got, we know I played sports video games. I played them specifically to play career mode. And there as well says Amelia, have you played any of Rugby 20 or Rugby Challenge? Baby Bell says no, mini Baby Bells. And there, do they have them here? We do. We actually do have them here in New Zealand. I think George could eat 100 of those. New challenge video. See how he goes. Although, to be fair, 100 grams is 5, so that would be 2 kgs of Baby Bells. That would not be smart to do. And also sometimes something tells me the lady of choice wasn't the best choice again, brother, says Katie Dixon. I feel like Katie's starting to know, isn't she, with that one? But yeah, possibly not a bad thing, Aiden, by the sounds of what was going on in that last little week or so. Currently, I'm just looking through at some of the other stats to do with the yellow card. So Kane Kadeka gave away 2 penalties. Harry Lloyd actually given away 3 for himself, which is actually quite a large number to give away for an individual. It's actually more than the whole Rebels side gave away for themselves. And it was a tough Friday. Roosters down 10 points to the Broncos. Our Force is looking weak. Women's soccer, New Zealand 1-0 at halftime. Oh, that's good, isn't it? That last one? No, maybe not. Oh, no, you're from Australia, aren't you? Never mind. You'll get us in the end. As I like most cheese except for blue vein or feta. And there, as I says, enough mum. Might have just said the saying. And also we've got the 1,000 Baby Bell challenge and baby cheese. And there, as I says Gareth, and also you will find the one brother. Don't worry. And there it says Patty, and I was like, good idea. Even like 20 of them would be hard enough, I would think. And I was like, Patty, I have trust issues right now. There says Aiden. So I would recommend staying single and not jumping straight into bed with anyone that moves nearby, because I think that's what you did last time, and that really caused some big issues. So stay single for a while. You'll be all right overall. And love and life right now. Go Rebels. And there says Xavier. And also we have got their Force are losing to penalty goals. If they score 2 more tries, then they will be drawing. And there it says Ricky Rock. So yeah, they only need 2. Wait. They score 2 more tries, they will be drawing. They score 2 more. Oh, yes. Sorry, I was confused there for a second, wasn't I? That was very slow from my brain. I had to catch up for that one. But currently almost there for the second half. I always say it, the halftime break in the Australian Super Rugby does seem to take a little bit longer. Yep, stay single, brother. I don't force things to happen. And there's a nice pun as well for the Western Force. Probably wasn't on purpose. Probably shouldn't have picked up on that part of it, but I do love a good pun. And I was like, good that the Rebels survived the first half. Now they need to keep holding out the Force for the final 40. I got Rugby Challenge 3. I always pick my player to play for the Wallabies. And I need to give myself a little exception in regards to Super Rugby side signing my character. And Aussie, yeah, best to be single. And there it says Paddy Wagon as well. Currently 11 points difference. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will score the first try of the second half? The man advantage will still be in play for the Rebels for the first little while. And also, we have got there with my limited knowledge of rugby. I will give credit to your channel, Amish. My favorite team is the Western Force. Will they have a chance to win the league? And there it says coding. So what we will do quickly, we will go like this. So currently the Western Force, they are sitting in 7th place. So as long as they're in the top 8 at the end of the stage, which is another about 10 or at least 8 more games each team. After they've had that, then from there, in fact, actually it's less than 8. I think we're actually into the stage of playing the Australian side, so actually only about 6 or 7 for a lot of these sides. And then from there, as long as they're in this top 8, they're good. And they will be able to make their way through to the quarterfinals. They just got to keep up there. And if they win this game, it would be huge for them. as the Rebels would still have a little bit more of a deficit to try and cover to make their way towards that quarterfinal. And Hamish is single in there, says Ed. I am indeed single as a, well, people say single as a Pringle, but Pringles normally come in a large pack, don't they? With a whole heap of them. So, yeah, I'm just chilling in my lounge, pretty much. Full-time YouTuber. It says single bro, period. And then I was like, Katie, I got context. I got content. But now she's blaming me for not, that's, probably can't read that one out. And also we have got there, I'm single and loving every second of it. It means I can watch as much Virgin River as I want. And there says Amelia, and also we have got there, who's going to win from SS Jack? I mean, safe bets, the Rebels. Risky bets, the Western Force, but there's a chance that maybe it could end up going the way of their away side for this game. I'm just going to quickly check the odds and see how everyone is sitting for this matchup. I believe, if I'm not wrong, the Western Force, they should still be quite heavy favourites. Okay, it's $2.05, but I think that hasn't updated because the Western Force, I would think, would be down by more than $2.05, but I think they're actually not. I think that's how close they feel that this game is more freedom to you being single. And there as well says Sammy Souza. Okay, now it's updated. $3.10 is we have got there from Western Force. They are $3.10 and the Rebels are $1.33. And also we have got there, Hamish, are you introvert or shy type of person or extrovert? Depends on what I'm doing. I think, like, if I need to stay quiet, I can. If I need to talk heaps, I probably can do that as well. Like, it just depends on who you're around. And, like, yeah, pretty much. I remember going to Daniel's 21st, and I was probably about as extrovert as you could get because I was busting all sorts of moves, which wasn't a good idea, really. I was quite sore the next day. But, yeah, we were playing darts, playing pool, all sorts for that one. And more freedom to you being single, and single like a middle finger. There you go. Although there is another one on the other side, which I guess you could say on the other side of life, there is someone out there. Deep, meaningful stuff. And exactly when I'm ready to find someone, I'll do it in my own time and not have anyone push me to do it. And there says Amelia there, and I've already got enough boy drama at my school anyways. Says Amelia, yeah, the high school boy drama or the girl trouble, that's always, I guess, pretty prominent in all high schools around, isn't it? Even the ones that are like all girls schools or all boys schools. They do have it. And also, what's your girl or what's your type of girl, lad? Breathing, normally good start. That's about it. Really. I haven't really thought about it heavily, I guess you could say. And also, there was some deep Hamish. It was, wasn't it? I was going to show you guys with my middle fingers, but then I realized I would just end up pulling the fingers at you, which wouldn't have felt right. That one, I don't think I could rip the fingers at someone in real life other than probably George. But George, it would be because we're like doing something that references middle fingers. It's going to be kicked off now for the second half, though. And now a Western Force, they have given the ball straight back into the hands of the Rebels. Waihu, attack and run from him, moving up to 40 meters out here. And I was like, Hamish, you're so deep right now. And seriously, like 3 boys are fighting over me. And what's weird is I don't want anything to do with any of them. And there's one of the biggest lies peddled on this planet is that you have to be in a relationship to be happy. And then also breathing. See, Betty, always a good start. There'll be a little mistake. Matt Demui's off the field for the next 6 minutes. You'd have to say that his tackle was a mistake from himself. Currently now 50 meters out from the line. And the Western Force have got themselves a scrum feed. So if they can manage to get themselves a try while the Rebels are down to only 9, that's not the number, while they are down to 14 minutes, that's awkward. At least the Rebels doing well. I should keep you occupied in there, says Sammy Souza. And also, neither my husband and I were looking for anyone. Long, short story. I've been together 24 years, married 17, bought a house and got 2 children. The way that that's worded, I know that you had 2 children, but got 2 children sounds like you just found some random kids and were like, that'll do. No, they're ours. It's adoption for you. But now currently on the halfway line, Pasatoa going back across. And now a nice little bit of drawn pass there. Manasa Martelli close to the touchline, nicely taken. Little chip behind from Jake Strawn. Waits for it to sit up. It's a loose ball. It's on it. That might be the try for the Western Force. And also most of the time when they talk to me, I have to pretend to be nice to them, even though I don't give a ass about the 3 of them. Says Amelia there. Kyle Goldwyn. I think that might be the try to the Western Force for that one. Might have been. Yes, it is. Kyle Goldwyn. They have given him the points. And Reece Hodge just having a bit of a fumble at the back, and because of it now, it does mean that straight away they've made the most of that yellow card. And it is going to be Kyle Godwin who does pick himself up the try. And just like that, the Force are definitely not going to be the $3.50 underdogs anymore because they have scored pretty much instantly. Reece Hodge unable to regather it. Wasn't able to put it down in the in goal either. And I was like, yeah, grab some random kids off the street. And there as well, says the mum. And I was like, we've got that nice. Says Paddy Wigan, and I was like, come on, Force, and no far out. This happens like every week, says Amelia. And I was like, yeah, boys, come back. Says Reggie there as well. And yeah, Manasa Mateale, the strength of him to be able to stay in the field to play. Jake Strong goes to the kick wide. How much contact was there? Not a lot of research. And then they go straight over. And speaking of such lie, fortunately, I don't buy into that nonsense. Come on, come back. And then every time we do well, we end up bloody bottling it. And also the first 10 minutes of the second half, crucial here, says Ed, exactly right. While Matt Tamua is still off the field, you'd have to argue that since he's gone off the field, there's been 2 tries scored by the Western Force. So how much of an impact is that going to have? Wildred has said there, I reckon Rebels. There as well, strike of the ball from Pryor. It just goes away to the right-hand side. And now the score will remain at 10 points to 6. A 6-point lead here for the Rebels. 3 minutes left of Matt Tamua's card. That could actually cost them another try, depending on how quickly it goes. And you'd have to argue he's probably quite lucky to have only got the 10 minutes for it. It could have easily been that red card if the referees were wanted to be a little bit more strict with it. And then that would have been 20 minutes that he would have been off. Manasa Mateali, try scorer from earlier on. And also, that's right, brother, high five. And there as well. Sorry if that was very loud. I decided I'd high five myself. Got no one else to high five. That sounded really sad. It's just everyone's asleep. And I think they would get very annoyed if I was like, hey, wake up. I want a high five. That would just really annoy people. And also, we have got the week cover remaining 2 T20 of Australia versus Pakistan. I think they've actually only got the 1 match coding. I don't think there are another 2 T20s, sadly. I just need to go to Specsavers. I do. More than likely, we're waiting for that sponsorship, just like Jack Leach got for his Ashes 2019 series. And how would Sebastian reply if on Sunday, how is towards that there's a cow on the track? I'm very confused about the new pad files. I'm passing it out the back line. Reece Hodge has got that one there. And come on, Rebels, fight to the flip back and g'day. And there, and it's a nice 16. Sky, as you said. There's a Paddy Wagon there. Currently now 16 points to the 10 here. Nice little offload up to Waihu. Now Kane Katika almost got himself in trouble there for not being able to roll away. Okay, another good attacking run. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be the next try scorer in this match? Now at the back line, nice spin from Arain Nu'u in the midfield. And come on, Force, says Dougie, sorry for that one. Is that a drop kick? What's he doing? The Rebels went for the drop kick there. Is a 22 dropout. Okay, Reece Hodge is saying there's nothing on it, and I told over his radio as he was racing around the track. Right. And also, but I'm watching Rory Burns give up for a duck in the first ball of the Ashes. Is the best bloody thing that happens in the Ashes. And there as well. And now Kawinzo having a good run forward. It's nicely done. Now, you'd have to argue that the Rebels have really just given the position back to the Western Force here on the halfway line, and they've still got another minute left. Jake Strawn sells the dummy on the inside, now down the wing. It's some good pace from Brad Lacey. Wrestled down by, it was Reece Hodge and also Force. I'm watching the AFL. And there as well, says Cody. So hopefully you are enjoying that one. And also still worth a high five to everyone in the chat. And there says Sebastian. Says Sammy Sozas. Yeah, if I'm high-fiving myself, imagine one of these is your hands. There we go. Cobus Eloff counter ruck. Still available for the Force, though. On the 22, I'm starting to understand why the Rebels are like the Warriors of Super Rugby. There's RC Sammy Sozas. Still available for the Force, though. 30 seconds left. Kane Katika, he is back from his yellow card. And speaking of yellows, Matt Tamua, you'd have to wonder how crucial his one was, and we keep handing the ball back to them. Just hold on to the ball. And then, yeah, that drop kick was a weird option for Reece Hodge. Around the side now, Pryor flicked on the inside. Manasa Mateali, good tackle on him by Matt Phillip. Was right on the ribcage. Drawn pass. One more. Quick hands. Steps back, and the Western Force score 3 tries in the time that Matt Tamua was off the field. And that is how you come back from having, I guess, some real problems with the early discipline for the Force. Then from there, the Rebels, they just got that one yellow. And Matt Tamua, I know he was smiling when they were showing him before. I'd like to think that that smile's been smacked off the face at this point in time. It was nicely done. I believe that was, looks like Timansti. Was it Timansti? Turn around, mate. No, it was number 14, sorry. Brad Lacey. I actually said Lacey as he was scoring. I don't know where the other fella goes, or where the other fella came from, I should say. Lacey scores in the 47th minute now, and the Western Force have got 3 in a row. And also, Tamua, you better be the reason we hold on, and also we keep handing the ball back, and also now convert one. And there's us, there's little Nicky, and also score the extra point. And Tamua, it says Amelia, and also the clapping from Dougie there. They've gone over once again for the Western Force. Nice step on the inside from Brad Lacey, who I thought was bald, but I think I'm thinking of a different fellow who is bald. Tell you what, you've got to be careful jumping on people's backs in the celebration. We actually saw it earlier on, not this game, but the one prior in the NRL yesterday, that a fella scored a try, and then one of his teammates came in, celebrated with him, and he ended up hurting his knee, and he was off for the rest of the game. Come on, Rebels, I will time you out if you don't score points. And then also about time the game finally got interesting. Yes, Sammy's over there, but this one's certainly close at the moment, lining up this kick for Ian Pryor. That's a shocker. It's gone way out to the side, and the score is going to remain 15 points to the Western Force, 16 to the Rebels. I don't think he could have missed that anymore if he tried, Ian Pryor. It was like, on like a video game. It's got the bar, and you got to time it. He timed it when it was way over there, or way over there. Didn't quite get it right. And Andrew Callaway, he's not happy with the defence. I knew this was going to happen about time. And then it says Sammy Souza, and also Rebels can't score tries. And Lowell says little Nicky for that one as well. But now going up, at least they can't convert. And there says Amelia. That was a good point. They missed quite a few, but now Matt Tamua's back out on the field. How popular do you think he will be with his teammates? And warm day today, Amish no hoodie. It's currently 7 degrees Celsius at this point. But we had the fire going earlier, so I'm a little bit warmer than if I wasn't with the fire. And they're relying on fouls. And as says Reggie, yeah, they do normally get quite a few. Is it Reggie or Riggy? It might be Riggy, isn't it? Reggae? Reggie? We're not sure. Ow! Did you guys hear that pop? Just broke my jaw. Everything on the halfway line now. Tuttle trying to keep that man in there. And 2 halves, Tail has, unless the Rebels can hang on by the skin of their teeth. Strong getting taken out of the air. It's still going to be available for them one moment, ladies and gentlemen. We will quickly go like this. And we will go like this. There we go. Right. We're seeing now an injury for Jake. For Jake Stewart, and also dang, I heard that jaw pop. It was very loud. I don't know whether or not it was loud because it was right next to my eardrum, or whether you guys also got to hear the intensity that was a jaw pop. I was even Donna would do it better. And there's us, says Betty Wagon, also 2 halves tail, perhaps, unless the Rebels can hang on by the skin of their teeth. And Asian International Rugby, which are the underdog teams, which can surprise any top side, such as big matches, as knockout matches in a World Cup. So big teams that normally stand up. World Cups are a little bit trickier, but a biggest win ever by an underdog was actually Japan up against South Africa. And also Rebels, I think, or I will then kick it out of the chat if you don't play better right now. And also, I hate those jaw pops. Do them lots, it sucks. And I was like, damn right, Patty. And there says Amelia, a little flick through the leads there. It's a little half knock on. So they're going back for the initial penalty. And the Callaway player, is he a one-hit wonder? Who's got last season at internationals? That's the thing. He played pretty well in Super Rugby last year alongside it, but he just doesn't seem to have had really too many running opportunities. I don't think they've found the ball to him once. And I think that's also because they like kicking the ball. So often they either go to Moore or Hodge will boot it downfield. And then you never really see it. Like Vaihu, he really has to come in the middle, like to be able to get himself any chance at the ball. And I was like, what is this joke? And he says, yeah, it's pretty close at the moment. There's a TMO decision. If the Rebels end up with another penalty or a yellow card against them, you'd have to say this game's all but over for them. Right. What do we got here? Around the side, Pryor. Inside ball. Oh. Okay, so what's their number 19 that ended up smacking him in the head? I believe that's Josh Hill. But it's whether or not that was serious enough to be considered as... What's the cat up to? Hello, Billy. What you doing? He's just staring at me. He's going, what are you doing? We're just having a staring contest. I think he won. I was like, do you like the European? I have no idea what that is. I mean, if you're talking about the European Rugby Union, but I don't think you are. I think you're getting more political than that. And I was like, Billy, and there's Paddy. That one, I'm not sure what he's up to at the moment. He is just kind of sitting over there patiently. And I was like, Billy. And there's our right. They are looking at this many times, which is why I think maybe they'll just let it go. And the underdogs are usually the tier 2 teams, like the Pacific Island countries, Japan, and just recently Uruguay. And there's our, and I was like, knock on. Says Nov Mum. Okay. What are we checking here? It's just paused. Seems like the referees don't seem to know what's going on either at this point in time. Right, they're showing the right image now. Oh, okay, so that's Rainu, and that was head contact. Second wicket falling, it's actually Dean Elgar now out in the South Africa versus Bangladesh game. And they are now sitting at 70, or he was sitting at 70 now, 133 for 2. Oh, for me, that's a red card almost from Rainu. And at least they've found the right one there. Okay, freeze frame at contact. This is at least yellow, if not red, for this one. They're going to get the freeze frame of the contact. TMO's looking at the wrong one. It's the other way, mate. Oh, so is this another yellow card or red for the Rebels? For me, it looks like a red card. He doesn't duck. It's shoulder to the neck and head region. He's way too high. And red all day, Irish bro. Yeah. So I've got to give it, if I was in charge, I would give it as a red. We've seen some decisions in Super Rugby, though, that make us a bit confused. Tacker's always upright. There's going to be a red card to Rainu. And Hodge is a funny player. He has no real position, in my opinion. But I think you need to specialize in one or two positions, or else you become average in all positions. And there, as well, says Danny Lewis, and also we get their blood cheese. And also what team is going to lose a player? It is the Rebels who will be losing one of their players. And it will be Rainu goes off the field. Now, this will be a 20-minute red card. He goes off the field now. And that is going to be the end of Rainu for a guy who's already had a pretty decent game. Now has to make his way off the field. Matt Tamua gives him a high five and says, you just one-up me, mate. Well done. And also we got their Rebels in there, says Reggie. And also, they're from Amelia, yeah. It's not looking too good for the Rebels at this current point in time. But 20 minutes time, they will have another man. My cat is jumping up on a bag. Hello, what's up? What you up to? You want outside? What's happening? Right, while they are kicking this one for the touchline, because I know that my cat will probably keep on making noise if I don't let him out of the lounge. So I will quickly pop away, and then I will be right back in a very short moment. Right, we are back. So at this stage on the 22 for the Western Force and Highcat, there says eventually, and also La Rochelle to win the Heineken Cup. They're a very good side, and they did actually make it as far as they ever have in their last Champions Cup. They made it to the final, I believe it was, up against Toulouse. But yeah, we will have to wait and see how it goes. Little chip in behind. It's a bit of pressure there on Matt Moore there. Now, only a couple of meters out from the line. It's still going to be available. They're looking for the ball. I believe the Rebels will just be hanging on to this one in the breakdown. I definitely hear them meowing kitty. He's become a lot more loud at his older age. He's got no patience whatsoever now. He pretty much just goes, oi, who's about? It's like this morning my mum was putting something in my room and I was asleep and the cat was sitting on me. And then as soon as she opened the door, he just meowed 5 times, just completely confused at why she was there, which was very strange because he's seen her many times. And I was like, how much is Jordy Barrett playing 12? Because All Blacks are lacking in that position. I don't like him at 12 or on the wing. Says Danny, I'm not too sure. I don't know whether or not it's maybe the depth at the Hurricanes that is lacking a little bit. Try to use my powers on them as my cat meows so loud. At sad hours, I swear this team gives me so much heartache. Yeah, but probably a headache as well, scratching your head, wondering what went wrong since the first half. And you'd have to say the discipline for the Rebels, unfortunately, just making repeated mistakes. Fergus Lee Warner, good attack and run. He's a big boy, and he has made huge contact there. They've got a penalty advantage once again for the Western Force. Pasatoa does almost find the offload. Reesodge gets in the way of that one, and it's going back for the initial penalty. Now the Western Force, they were offside. Currently 15 metres out. Do they take the 3, or do you use that advantage of having the extra man? I think they will take the 3 here. At least I've got a video game to play after this, and Virgin River can make the pain go away. But there's no way in hell I'm going to be turning the game off, says Amelia. So sticking with them through and through. Who knows? Maybe they get a last-minute victory, which would be absolutely huge for the Rebels. Definitely because they have got their red card in play for the next kind of 20 minutes or so. But Pasatoa tried to find that offload. Reesodge ended up getting himself in the way there. And he's actually been one of the more popular players to get a card in this competition so far, Reesodge. He got a red, he got 2 yellows, and he got another yellow, I think it was, or something along those lines, in just a short few weeks that he's been playing. But that one straight out in front, Pryor gets it over, and now the score is going to be 18 points for the Force, 16 for the Rebels. Are taking the lead there. And also All Blacks are lacking in midfield position somewhere, or someone to pair up with Anton Leonard-Brown. Because I feel like, as nice as it is to say that Quintupai could be that guy, I think Anton Leonard-Brown and Quintupai have very similar games. Kind of that crash ball style. Same with Havili and Daniel Leonard, or sorry, not Daniel Leonard-Brown, he's the prop. But same with Havili and Leonard-Brown. Seems to be 2 of the same, which is why maybe you could try and go, I guess, Jack Goodhue, that's a good point. We haven't seen him in action for a little while, but if he is 100% match fit, he could be a good option for that 12 jersey. And also one of our cats is quite cuddly. The other one, I like to sniff shoes and feet. Right. See, it's a bit of a mixed bag with the cats, I guess you'd say. It's going to be ripped away there by the Rebels, but I think the Western Force, have they been able to take this one back? No, it's still available here for the Rebels. Oh, the ball goes the way of the Force on the ground. Now it's going to be the scrum feed here for the Western Force on their 22. Faliti Kaitu'u, he's on the field, and that is replacing the man who was starting at number 2, and that was Andrew Reddy. Faliti Kaitu'u just come from the Wallabies camp, they have said. Well, we'll be hoping to make a few caps for himself in the Rugby Championship, and also their games coming up against England that are very soon. And Hamish, do you like Havili with Anton Leonard-Brown? I don't mind it. I just think sometimes I would prefer to see Rieko Ioane at 13 just to have like power and pace. Like Havili and Rieko Ioane seem like a good combo. That's a penalty that a Western Force. And then same thing said about Anton Leonard-Brown. And maybe, because that's the thing, you want that combo of a crash ball specialist and also then someone who is good with the pace and also can find an offload to try and free up that space. And also if your number 12 can find the offload, that's even better. Whereas at this stage, I'd say Quintupai, he's still young though, but he doesn't pass as often as he possibly should, unfortunately. And also our boy Cat, the cuddly one, I will often jump on my husband's lap and just fall asleep there. Good decision, Western Force, to take the 3 points. And there was our CZMH. And also we have got the Here Comes the Force, and we were 16-5 up. Now look at us, woeful. And yeah, it says Xavier. Yeah, it's gone a little bit wrong for the Rebels. And with a man disadvantage for the next 15 minutes now, it's not going to be an easy last few moments of the game. That one was not straight, though, from the Western Force. So that is the benefit for the Rebels there. And yeah, my cat mostly falls asleep on mum, but sometimes on me. And there's us, there's Betty Wagon. The line-out's not straight. There's actually been 1 and 1. One for each of these 2 sides. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty of live streams taking place tomorrow. I believe the first of which is going to be at 2:22 p.m. And that will be the game taking place between Ireland and Fiji in the sevens department. We are going to be covering them. From there, we've also got New Zealand versus Argentina. Who else have we got? Australia versus Samoa, I think, is another game that we are going to be doing for those ones. Then we've got 3 games of Super Rugby, 2 games of the URC, and then possibly a game of the Champions Cup afterwards, just for good measure. And also, Amapi would be a great crash ball option. I can't play, of course, And there's us, says Danny, and also we've got the at this rate. We keep giving away silly penalties. We are New Year, same. I realised I censored that, but I think I said something slightly worse earlier, didn't I? Rule. And also, Rebels, you need to block the force. Although they've now got, it's going to be Joe Powell. That is the name. I was trying to look at him, and I didn't want to look at my team sheets because I knew that I knew him. Just needed to work out who he was. But Joe Powell, he's out on the field there. That is replacing James Tuttle. That will be how it stays for the rest of the match. 22 minutes left here. It's a penalty to the Rebels, and that looks like it's actually Jake Gordon. No, not Jake Gordon, sorry. A very happy man currently for Joe Powell. A little bit of push and shove. Jeremy Thrush in there. Santiago Marano. He's a little bit angry about something that happened. Oh, he's still having a bit of a chat to him afterwards, Santiago Marano. The Rebels, I believe this will give them the opportunity to go for the 3, and that is exactly what they will do. So this will give them a 1-point lead going into the later stages of the game for the last quarter of the game as well. Okay, one of the guys in the front row, I think that was, who was that? Was that, no, who is that? Number 17, that is not Cameron Orr, unless Cameron Orr has dyed his hair orange. So I think they've had a little bit of a late change. In fact, sorry, that was Bo Abra. He is the one who has got that here. Currently now they're going to be lining up this one here for them. And also as me, or as Tamua terrible these days, he's not the best, unfortunately. He seems to hit little patches of form, and I think it's normally enough so that people go, yep, he's still there. And then other than that, he seems to be a little bit subpar. Unfortunately, I do think Caleb Clark will get the wing position for the All Blacks. He's missed that one, so I guess that just helps prove the point a little bit more. And fantastic in 20 seasons, but didn't play because he played 7s instead, says Danny Lewis last year. So I feel like he's worth a crack. Like they'll probably go him, Bridge, and I'd like to see Faina Nuku make his way in there, but they don't seem to be extending their squad hugely, which I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to do. Possibly. And speaking of Lamapi, it's a pity he's been officially, he'll be officially available for Tonga a few days after the World Cup. Yeah, that does suck. That he's got to wait just a little bit longer. Because that's the thing, 2027, I don't know whether or not we get to see him there. But, yeah, it's just unfortunate that that is the rules that they have added in. That only some players will have that opportunity to be able to do so. But currently the Melbourne Rebels, they're going for this rolling maul. It's not looking too bad at the moment. The Rebels, they've got the bonus point currently for being less than 7 behind, but they do need to try and extend a little bit of a lead. Good run forward. 10 minutes left of that red card. And first of all, I never give up hope. But it's only a 2-point deficit. It's only a 2-point deficit, and it's only once the fat lady sings. That's a penalty to the Western Force. And it looks like Jordan Ulysses, he doesn't want to go anywhere. It's still that midsection, and they've said, "No, we're not picking you up." So it's literally, it's always there from. I don't know what he's got in terms of it's something in that midsection, and every time he's getting injured. And I think it's one of those ones, it's a repeated injury, which I don't think he's getting a chance to actually allow it to heal. Because of it, I think he's got something to do with one of the ribs. That's in Caleb Clark and Bridge. Interesting, no Reese or Ioane. And there says Danny Lewis. I mean, I was working on the theory of left wing because Rico will get selected for the centres on paper. And then alongside him, Severu Reese will actually be selected as the right wing on paper as well. But you can play both of them at left wing, but just in general, they do normally select them as other positions, if that makes sense. John Ulysses doesn't look too flash at the moment here. They're still trying to check and see what is wrong. Although I feel like that man needs like an x-ray of his midsection just to see what has happened, because it's every game now that he does have to go off the field with an injury in that midfield, or not the midfield, sorry, that midriff. They're checking on him. He didn't look too keen to get up, though. Okay, they're saying they went like that. So I don't know whether or not that is head knock. Maybe they're saying that he will have to go off for an HIA. Oh. Okay. So I don't think it was actually that massive, like, he got a knee to the head from one of his teammates. but I don't think it was that really caused the damage. Oh, no, he just dodged the knee. But Jordan Ulysses back up. He's going to be going off the field now by the looks of it. But that's, I think, the third or fourth game this season in the 7 games that the Rebels have played that I've seen him get taken off the field due to that same injury. So I don't know whether or not it's healed probably, and All Blacks have depth, but just can't put the right pieces. And there as well says Danny. Brad Lacey, he's had 66 carry meters tonight, 1 offload, 5 broken tackles, and 1 try assist. He's had a busy day, and you'd have to argue that if the Force do end up winning this game, he would be man of the match perhaps for them. Now Jake Strawn kicks that one high. It's the drop kick, and it's allowed to go into touch. Was that a drop kick? I think it was a penalty to the Western Force, and I think he decided instead. Did I see that right? I think he just drop kicked it into touch. I'm going to have to go back and have a look at this. Or did he kick it just before it hit the ground? Oh, no, he did kick it just before the ground. Sorry, I thought it was a goal. Oh, I thought he drop kicked it into touch. I was thinking, geez, that's impressive. But now it's currently available for the Western Force using their back line. A drop kick. No, it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. Now take it nicely. And here's a drop. This is Matty Wagon. Now they're going right back for the advantage in favour of the Western Force. Currently 17 white collapsing, which I believe would be actually Cameron Orr, who has penalised for that one. Front row collapsing. There's currently still another 7 or so minutes left of this red card. And it's all about for the Rebels keeping this close enough so that when they go back to the 15, they can actually find a way of being able to keep it close enough that it's only like a 3-point or a try away from them being able to get the victory. But currently the Western Force are going to pour on that pressure 40 metres out from their line. The Rebels have given away 4 penalties in the second half compared to the one. That one has not found touch though. Mistake from the Force, and now Andrew Galloway will be able to kick this one downfield and towards, actually not going towards touch, decides to go across. Instead now it's going to be taken nicely. It was Isaac finds him behind looking for the 50-22. If the ball bounces in favour, no it doesn't. And now 5 metres out, Reece Hodge will be kicking this one for the touchline. And also we have got the hello, Amish Bro. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're excited for the upcoming week of rugby and also a little bit of cricket next week in the Monday and Tuesday region. I believe is our next cricket that we have got. But Faleti Kaitu'u now going to be lining up this one with the line out throw. Okay, I'm not too sure what Bo Abra just said. But whatever he said, it didn't work because they've lost the ball on the line out. Now running it forward very nicely. There's going to be James Hansen, the replacement for Johnny Nolesi. Now Hardwick spins out. Almost. Oh, he's done well there. Sam Willis. Oh, in fact, sorry, it was Ollie Kalen. They weren't quite able to get that turnover for the Force. It was extremely close. Now Matt Phillip goes back to Matt Tamor, kicking a high. Interesting choice. Definitely with it going into the 22. It could be taken as a mark, but it's not taken cleanly. Picked up nicely, though. And the midfield, I believe that is once again Brad Lacey, and also finally the Force have taken the lead. Thank goodness, and the Roosters just taken the lead as well. And this is Aiden, and also we've got the anyone's game from here. Exactly right. Kicking it in behind. It does not find touch, except it goes dead. So because of it, they're going right back to where it was. That will be for the scrum in favour of the Force. We have got there finally. Oh, no, I read that one. Also, we got the Hamish Bro New Zealand's women's football team. Our lead against Australia women's team, an international friendly game in Australia. Is it 1-0 or 2-0? Out of curiosity at the moment. I think it was 1-0 last time I saw it. It's a lot of buttons, Paddy. I think Paddy's just decided to see how many he can hit in a short amount of time. And then about halfway through, he got the cap lock, which was slightly unfortunate. Then he realised he had the cap lock, took it back off. Also, are we keeping, are you up, fella? And there's his little Nicky. Nah, it's just I woke up later, unfortunately. But saying that, I did do an editing and streaming day of 26 hours last night, but the night before, if that makes sense. So it's probably lacking a little bit of sleep, but we got more tonight after this game. And then we are into another 16 hours of streaming. The next one, Petty Sheesh. And now 1-0 Amish Bro. And come on, the Rebels. Just get back in this, man. That's how I feel about the Rebels. And as I said, Paddy, and also let's hope Rebels can get there first or can get first. They never have won in this competition. Says Barry Green. And we will have to wait out and see how they go. Hopefully they get themselves into the top 8 at least. But we will definitely need to see them win this game for that to happen. Also, 70 minutes, second half. And there's our sets for Shell for the football, and also what happened with the female soccer game. It is currently 1-0 to the New Zealand side in that game. Currently now it is going to be, I believe it's Isaac finds Liliwasa is going to be putting this one in. It's gone down the front rows. We're going to have another scrum reset though. Currently 5 minutes 45 left on the clock. And I'll say, how's your week been, by the way, Katie? Yes, says Aiden. Okay, we're all too low, says the referee. Jordan Murphy, Damon Murphy, in fact. Who's Jordan Murphy? Don't know them that I can think of. Don't think I know a Jordan Murphy. Liquid. Gotta love it. Currently 14 minutes left. Oh, it's a penalty now to the Rebels. Oh, that's big. Well, there was Bo Abra. I don't think he's too happy with that one. I think Greg Holmes was a little bit too quickly in engaging. And because of it, now the Rebels have got another opportunity at the 3 points if they want it. But it's whether or not they do want it. Matt Demoa does want it. Can't miss it, though. It's going to be so important that he doesn't miss. Because if he does, that's about 6 or 7 points that they have missed out on with a few conversion attempts. Well, actually, he got his first conversion, didn't he? And also we've got the spring cleaning brother. And as I says, Katie. Now, currently, they are just showing that feed once again. Yeah, Greg Holmes, he was annoyed with that one. I like they're saying Cameron Orr, it might have slightly been his fault as well, but came up as the innocent bystander. 46 metres, 50% chance that this one goes over for Matt Tamoy. He's sitting 3 from 4 so far tonight. Can he get it from the touchline? It's quite a kick from Azal. Ooh, it swings, but it does go over. I think I saw a little bit of rain there as well at the ground. And also Jordan Murphy, Irish fullback. Is that where I've seen the name? Maybe. Who else we got for the... Maybe that is where I'm getting my Murphy from. And that one, but currently sitting 12 and a half minutes left. The bonus point for the Force currently, it would be a losing bonus point if it stays the way that we are here. Now, Keenan off high. It's going to be, I believe it was actually Jake McIntyre who did that kick, and then he's dropped back into the fullback region. And I said, did you end up going for a walk today? Says Danny, I did go for a bit of a walk. Not too far out and about, but just a slight stroll, I guess you could call it. Also, Western Force, come on. And then says Reggie Rock, and also come on, Rebels, fire the frig up, says Amelia. Currently, it seems like we've got quite an even split of Rebels and Western Force supporters in this chat. But 3 minutes left of the Rebels rear guard. If the Western Force can score any more points while they have got the man advantage, definitely if it's a try, that will be huge for them at this point of the game. Faleti Kaitu'u spinning out of the tackle 50 meters out. Now it's going to be Isaac Finnes Lelawasa. And also, we've got that you tell him. There's a little knock on, though, from the Western Force, and Matt Phillip getting his head well and truly rubbed for that one. How many Matts have they got? Because they got Matt Phillip, they got Matt Tamoa. Is that the only 2 Matts that they've got? I think so. There's quite a few double ups for names and only the 23-man squad. Like, I know that the Highlanders had an obsession with Joshes. They had Josh Dixon, Josh Ioane, and Josh Honock. They got rid of Josh Ioane, but now they've just got the 2 Joshes. And then it's good chasing Wallabies. Nah, they're too quick. You just lose them straight away. And I'm not too worried who wins. There's enough mum there. Currently on the halfway line, it will be the scrum feed for the Melbourne Rebels. And from what I've heard earlier on, they did say that HBF Park, they were actually, they've got a pretty good record, and that's going to be now another penalty. And like they're saying, it doesn't normally rain in Western Australia too often. And I think Matt Phillip there is pretty happy with the efforts from his side so far. Okay, they're taking another shot. This one will be 50 meters out, and this will give them just a little bit more of a lead if they do end up getting it right. But it went down pretty quickly in the front row. Else I'll get rid of Josh Ioane too. Or I'd get rid of Josh Ioane too. I heard another blow of the whistle. Is that because... Did they get March 410? Is that what happened there? No, they didn't. Okay, I was wondering what that blow of the whistle was, but I think that was the replay of the referee blowing his whistle. But this one's going to be Reece Hodge. question. Matt Tamua kicked it 46 on the angle with the distance. 50 metres straight out in front, they've switched it back to Reece Hodge. I mean, he's 1 from 1 tonight, so you would like to think that he does get it over, but it seems interesting that they are chopping and changing between the kickers, as it does always mean that you guys don't really get that huge amount of momentum. Definitely when Tamua, I think he would have the distance, but maybe just doesn't back himself for the accuracy. And I was like, that boy would throw a rave during baptism and not give it. And there's it's a good strike of the ball from Reece Hodge. It's gone over. And now the Rebels, they are going to have a 22-18 lead. So now because of it, the Western Force, they are going to need themselves a try to be able to take the lead in this one. But Reece Hodge striking it very nicely. Had the distance on it. Pretty happy with it as well. But currently they have got 30 seconds left till they are back to a full squad. So just the one stoppage in place. So I believe, if I'm not wrong, as the Western Force, you wouldn't kick this one off long. You try and get it just outside of their 22 so that they cannot kick it into touch. Michael Wells having a bit of a juggle there. And also, why is the Force not kicking? And there's Reggie Rock. Force not kicking? As in, like, for the 3-pointers, I guess it would be. And what position is the best position for Hodge? I mean, normally it is 50 plus. They don't seem to back him from any closer, although he did get one a little bit closer, which was about 40 metres out. That was when Matt Tamua was off the field, and what Hodge can kick. What a shocker. There's bloody says Amelia there as well. So I know it was going to come to this. And there's Reggie Rock. So hopefully, there's a last little moment in this game for the Force. Now it's going to be finds Lilawasa once again with a nice step. Godwin. No, in fact, it's Jake McIntyre or Jack McIntyre. No, it is Jake McIntyre. There's a Jack in there as well who's not playing. I think that's Jack McGregor, isn't it? Is that the right name? Maybe. Now Koteka driving forward. They've got the penalty advantage here for the Force. Now Finiawasa goes around the side. Big Jeremy Thrush trying to drive himself forward just a little bit further. It's still available here for the Force. They've got another advantage on the ground. And this one is definitely a kickable 3, but they want more than the 3 if they can help it. Finds Eliawasa. Once again, passing across the Faliti Kaitu'u. And it is still just on the side of the Western Force. Currently, I don't think we're seeing Reese Van Nick yet. No, we haven't. We have still got Cobus Elof in the background. It's a penalty there. No, Hamish. I mean, what rugby positions is best for Hodge, fullback, wing, etc. I'd say fullback. Overall, it seems to be his preferred position. Although, also, he's not terrible out on the wing when they do need him to be there. But, like, I would say, yeah, I'll give him fullback. But then it depends if Tom Banks is also playing. Sometimes I like to see him pop over to the wing, being Reece Hodge, but then they've also got plenty of other options. But they've decided that they want to go for the 3 points here, and they will be taking on the 3 points. I'll say none. Says Petty Wigan. Currently now just the 7 minutes left. It's going to be a kick here for Jake Strawn. Okay. They are waiting for that tee. There it is. Someone has found the tee. I think initially they actually considered going for the touchline for that one, but because they had already made up their mind that they wanted to go for the 3, and I was like, that is very wicked. Everyone likes the Western Rebels, and there as well. Says Mark Roberts are now going to be lining it up. Jake Strawn, successful from 2022, 6 out of the 7, 85% accuracy. And the rain is actually, it's quite heavy at the moment. They were saying earlier on, they don't really get too much rain at HBF Park, and this will certainly be a nice feeling. Definitely if it is hot. Like if it's anything like it was earlier on in the day, this will be a very nice shower. Jake Strawn lining it up. Struck it pretty well. He's got that one. And it is going to now make the score 21 points to the Western Force and 22 to the Rebels. So this game just gets a little bit closer and closer. And also, I know the sin bin. And there's, it's been quite a bit of time in the sin bin in the last little while. But currently, the Western Force supporters, they are excited. Can they go all the way here? They need one more point. If the Rebels score themselves a converted try from here on out, you would have to argue that they will win this game. Because I would like to think there wouldn't quite be enough time for the Western Force to score twice. But if they score 1 and then get a drop kick or something like that, there's still that chance. So, yeah, it's very close. Getting it off high, Matt Tamua. Get plenty of height on that one. It looks like there's actually a player down at the moment in back play for Manasa Mataele. Hopefully he's going to be all right. Looks like the Western Force here are just going to be kicking this one towards the touchline. He is now back in the line, so I don't think it was an injury. It was more just the boot was playing up or maybe getting some strapping. Now goes high from Isaac Finney's Liliwasa. Waiting for him and Asamateli. Whatever they did, it must have worked because he has been able to take that one very nicely. Now Liliwasa once again going in behind. Does get an awkward bouncing one. It bounces up. Resoj, luckily for him, that time it sits up. He has wrestled down by Faliti Kaitu. This would be a distance that possibly the Western Force would be able to get the kick over if there was a penalty. You'd have to argue it's the same way around because Reese Hodge from here could possibly get himself one over at this point in the field. But 4.5 minutes left now between the two sides. Big charge attempt from Jeremy Thrush. Put everything into that one. That's gone up to the halfway line, taken nicely by Matt Phillip. Does glide high. It's just a little bit above the rest. Joe Powell going short side now. Michael Wells sells the dummy. Ball on the inside. Oh, he's given away. He popped past too late. And now because of it, it blows the opportunity for the chance. Joe Powell could have gotten it as close to a touch on Andrew Callaway. Takes it now, goes back across to Hodge. He's going to be passing it across to Callaway. Finally getting a run in this game. And he's almost going straight through. Finds the offload to Reese Hodge now, who is wrestled down on the 22. The Rebels can smell blood. If they want to get themselves the final blow in this game, there are numbers on the outside. Not a good pass, though. And it slows down any chance, but now finding the offload. Taken nice by Glenn Vaihu down the wing. Wrestle backwards now. 4 minutes left. 8 minutes remaining of the 90 minutes to end the match. And also added minutes. And there, as I says, Michelle. That is, of course, for the football ferns versus the Socceroos. Now Joe Powell going short side. 3.5 minutes left. Vaihu's got some space. Does step on the inside. Good tag on him by Kyle Godwin. An advantage here would be absolutely huge for the Western Force. Or, sorry, for the Rebels. But they are yet to get themselves one at this point in time. Now Matt Tamua sells the dummy. He's had the ball knocked out of his hands. It's a brilliant hit there by, I believe it was Big Greg Holmes, who's got the turnover for his side now. Now the Force, they've got the back line if they want it. McIntyre tries to step. It's going to be taken down nicely. This game could easily go either way. We've only got 3 minutes left. Currently, the last thing the Western Force want to do is give that ball back into the hands of the Western Force. That could be Kobasilov. No, doesn't quite turn that ball over. Now goes back into the pocket. They will be kicking this one to much disdain from the crowd as they've just given the ball straight back to the Rebels. Now Andrew Callaway, he's putting up the box. Well, the Force have fought back seriously. And there's that ball's going to be knocked back. That's going to be a knock on, I believe, from Joe Powell, but they haven't called it. So they will keep on playing. Now Michael Wells does go for just a little bit more. This is literally a pick-em game currently. Joe Powell kicks it in behind, trying to find the space, and it goes out inside of the 22. Good kick in behind. Oh, okay, I heard someone say F off. I hope that wasn't to the referee, or else he might be F'ing off in a short moment to the sin bin for 10 minutes. Currently, Michael Wells, I mean, we did see, I thought it was an initial knock-on. That was brilliant work by Fines Eliwasa, who was able to get back and cut that pass out from that one of Joe Powell. That would have been a certain try at that point in time. But now they are inside of their own 22 here. And they will have to try make their way forward a little bit. Joe Powell at the moment, he's just taking some steps. He's saying that he's kept the 2 meters apart here. And also Aussie Rugby says, imagine, yeah, always a close one stolen there by the Rebels, I believe. And yes, they have been able to take that one back. No, they haven't. It's back on the side of the Western Force now, looking for the draw and pass, I believe, in the midfield. That would have been the replacement. And Reese Tapini, he's actually been at the Brumbies recently. But Dale does get the opportunity for the Western Force. And far out, just hold on, Rebels. And one team give a penalty at 79-20 to win. There could be a possibility. The big question is which team will be the one who does get it. Currently only 15 metres out from their own line here. Trying to get the draw and pass going. Nice ball on the inside from Tapini. To decide against using it, it's a little knock on. And that is a big moment. The Rebels will now have the scrum fed with only 1 minute left, or 2 minutes left, in fact, and 1 point difference. I believe it was Big Matt Phillip who once again has stepped up at the most opportune time. Is that a word? Most opportunistic time. Is that the better one? Maybe. I need to read a dictionary every once in a while, I think, just to get some new words. That was, unfortunately, the youngster, Rez Tapene, did just come out of his hands. I believe it was the extra pressure on the ground, though. So Matt Phillip, who was it? I think it was just slipped out as that man got transferred over. Oh, man, here we go, y'all. And there says Cody Dixon. Yeah, Joe Powell, he did actually get his hands on that one after it was placed, which did end up with that ball having a bit of a bobble. Now, 1 minute 20 left. The time is off currently. Right. This is going to be a big scrum. Scrum penalties so far. The Force have had 7-3 against the Rebels. That's 10 scrum penalties we've seen in just one match. That is actually not very good at all for that one. Now, Bo Abra, Cobra Seeloff on this near side. And then on the far side, you're looking at a couple big forwards in the replacements of Greg Holmes and Bo Abra. That's gone down in the front row. Foursome Kenny. I think that's Cammy maybe, and it might have been for Cameron Orr. I think they're getting fired up at the moment now. But the Rebels, the thing is, yes, the Western Force, or the Western Force, sorry, would have a bonus point. What has happened to Feliti Kaitu's face? I think he's headbutted the can of sunscreen or something. I think he might have just gone, oh no, wait a minute. Straight down on the 22 line. That'll do it. That will make your face turn well and truly white in a very big hurry with just pure paint on one side. You can tell what side he turned to try and put the head down. He might get it again here. It's going close to the ground. They've gone down. And they are going to have to use it here for the Rebels. Only a few meters out from the line now. It's going to be a good run forward from, I believe it was George Worth. George Worth? Yeah, number 23. That's the right man. I was just trying to work out what position he was playing. Carter Gordon, he has not made his way out onto the field that I can see as of yet. That is going to be the siren. The Rebels kick it into touch, not risking anything, and the Rebels win this game 22 points to 21. And with the red card, with the yellow card, with a lot of penalties against them, they've still been able to hang on. And the Rebels are victorious away from home at HBF Park. They continue their impressive record playing in Perth, and they do get themselves 4 points on the board. The Western Force, they will receive 1 point. It will still be a little bit successful for them in this game, as they will now keep themselves there in 7th, but they'll be on 13 points. The Rebels, though, they move up to 10 points, trying to catch up a little bit with the Hurricanes, although the points differential is not quite in the favour that they need it to be. But nonetheless, that is going to be the win. And also over there, let's go far out. How the hell did we win, though? Or how the hell did we win that? I should say from Amelia and also GG, both teams. And also we have got their GG. As well says Amelia, yeah, extremely close game. Rugby Minus still says it's 78. There we go. It is now said that it is finished. 22 points for the Rebels and the Western Force. They are sitting there on 21. So you'd have to argue losing that game for the Western Force slowly probably puts them down that pecking order a little bit more for the quarterfinals when we do get to see New Zealand versus Australia sides. But the Rebels, they are right back in the hunt now, which is great to see after the season start. They had only the solitary try from the Rebels. They kind of embezzled this victory, yeah. They don't score many, but when they score them, I mean, that's the thing. It was in the 6 minutes, so it looked like it was going to be a very quick one. And also, we did not deserve to win that. There says Amelia, and also we've got their things with the stream, Amish. And there says Katie Dixon, no worries. And also tomorrow, for anyone wondering what we are going to be covering on the channel, first of all, we have got a couple of the Sevens games, starting with our first one at 2:15 p.m. New Zealand time. And we've probably got about 3 or 4 that are taking place during that kind of afternoon period. Then after that, we are going to Super Rugby. It is going to be Hurricanes versus Crusaders, followed by the game between the Chiefs and the Blues, followed then by the game between the Fiji and Drua and the Brumbies. Also, in between those two games, we might have New Zealand versus Wales if we can squeeze it in there. Then after that, there is more. We are going to have 2 games of the URC, the first of which Stormers versus Bulls, the second of which it is going to be the match between the Sharks and the Lions. And then maybe we even have the game that has taken place between the Exeter Chiefs and also Munster as a later game. And also by cuties, especially Hamish. Cheers. And also Leinster Connacht. I really want to, but it's a real early morning start for us here in New Zealand. I think it's on at like 7 a.m. or something along those lines, which does suck a little bit because it's going to be a good game. And I'm probably going to watch the live stream, or not the live stream, the match straight away. And also, Lads just uploaded my reaction to the end of the game. It's uploading now. Tell you what, you're a quick man, Xavier. That is for sure. Yeah, congratulations to the real one, GD. Thanks for the stream. I got you, no worries. So here's Katie Dixon, and I'll definitely watch Leinster versus Connacht, says Sebastian. Yeah. I'm just going to have a quick look and see what time it is on Saturday morning, because I know that we are going right through till, I think it's about 6:30. And Hamish, why is your face turning red in there? Says Betty Wagon. I think it's because someone closed the door, and unfortunately, it's quite warm. It's like a sauna in here at this stage. But Brisbane, they're still winning up against the Roosters. But looking through here, Connacht, Leinster. Yes, so it's a 7 a.m. game, which is a bit rough. I'll see how I'm going. If I wake up early, I'll get set up and do it. But if I don't wake up early enough, it will probably be about 12 or so. I'm the only one who streams Super Rugby Or are you the only one who streams Super Rugby? There used to be a few more, but I guess maybe at the moment I am, which is all right. I mean, at the end of the day, you know that I'm going to be at every single game of the competition. So if you do want somebody to watch the games, to have a chat about them, be sure to check out the channel as well. And so happy right now, Reece Hodge improved his kicking so much this game. And also we have got there, I have to enjoy the fact that we are winning games for now because it won't last. And also we've got that Katie, will you stream it? Ooh, plot twist. Maybe, dun, dun, dun. Can't leave now. I've got to leave her on the spot for a little bit while, or a little bit longer, I should say, at Irish Bro. 5 minutes added on the football game and still 1-0 up. And 2 cents does some games, but depends on the times as he has the children. And there's says Novum there. Yeah, children, they do take a bit of time overall. And also, well, what a game. It just woke up and damn. And there, oh, damn it, says David. No worries at all, mate. We've got plenty of games that are taking place tomorrow, including 3 Super Rugbies, couple sevens, few URC fixtures, and then maybe 1 Champions Cup at the end of the night, if my voice still exists, which will be questionable. At this stage, and also we have got there, I still got to work my way up to that, brother. And there, perhaps one day we do an MLR co-stream. I'm still keen. I just haven't had the time to watch the MLR, sadly, which I feel bad about because I was so excited about it starting and I only get to see like 1 game around at this stage, which doesn't seem quite good enough. That one also, hey, brother, I hope you're well. And the Rebels survive. They do indeed, just able to get themselves in the lead for this game and also and breathe. And there as I says Amelia. And also, I don't know, 2 cents Eskins, that's cool. And there as I says Katie Dixon, but the captain, Kyle Godwin, is a bit disappointed with that one, with the fact that they were beaten in the later stages of that fixture. But nonetheless, I guess we will have to see you guys all tomorrow for plenty more. It's understandable. I'll be petrified as well. The first stream must be so tough. Tell you what, we're going to do like a group stream. We're going to have me, Katie, Sebastian, David, if you can, Patty. I just have like 10 people talking at the same time so that anyone who's like worried about saying stuff, like if we got like 3 people also talking at the same time, it's fine. It will just all overlap. No one will know what anyone's saying. It's perfect. It's perfect layout. And I was like, thank you, Hamish. Cheers, MH join. I was like, cheers, Sammy Souza. No worries at all, mate. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Cheers, MH join. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Pin comment up there in the chat is where you can find the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, which is going to have more content on it very soon, coming up in the near future. But thank you all very much for tuning in. That's a giant Easter egg. What's going on here? I don't know what's happened. Oh, I think it's like a Cadbury bunny ad or something. No, it's a red bunny. Okay, I think it's just an Easter ad. I got confused there. I don't know enough about rugby to be an effective commentator. That's what I thought about myself. You just got to pretty much just milk it. More Easter under one roof. Oh, you can actually find a rooster, or not a rooster, sorry, a bunny rabbit in the warehouse, and you get yourself in the draw to be able to win 50 grand. Nice one. That's a free little promotion for the warehouse, isn't it? And also big love all. Says Katie Dixon. And also we've got the Hamish Bro Australia just scored just end of the 5 minutes added, and it's 1-1 now. And there's and also we were there. Cheers all, says Davidson. Nonetheless, we will see you all for tomorrow.